Greetings, Battle Brothers. It's me, Aurelia Tempris, Defender of the Golden Throne and Servant of Humanity. We have a very, very fun stream planned today. I told everyone they should be here today on a Sunday. I think it's a Sunday for most everyone. I think so, at least. So, this is a very, 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 very important stream, but I also think it'll be fun too. Hang on, I need to check something. I'm incredibly paranoid. Okay. Good, I think. Sorry, everything broke yesterday. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry that we could not stream yesterday. I broke things, and it was a time fixing it all. And right before stream, I found out that my model wasn't displaying on OBS, and I was like, why? Why not? In my efforts to fix things yesterday morning, I deleted something, and we got it fixed, but it was 15 minutes before stream. Everything is still broken. Not everything. I've fixed a bunch of stuff, but I've turned a lot of our things off for today. So yes. So I was checking to see if my filters were okay still. Do I sound alright? Do I sound normal? 'Cause it should be fine in theory, but if I sound any different, please let me know. You really like putting off painting the Baneblade? Look. I wanted to paint the Baneblade. I still don't know why YouTube chat isn't working. Unless... do I? Or do I? That is the question. Hang on. That is one thing I did not look into. Okay. Oh, yay! There they are! There's YouTube. It was what I thought it was. Hello! Hi, Aurelia. Are you playing that sus 40k dating sim you checked out? No, I'm not playing that. I'm not gonna play that on stream. Also, I'm into guys, not girls, so that's lost on me. Lost on me. Aurelia dating Sanguinius ASMR? That's like... I don't know, that sounds really awkward. You just hear me flirting with a guy in the distance. You don't even hear him respond. It's just me flirting into the void. You flirt with the void long enough, the void flirts back. I'm sorry, that was really dumb, but I found it to be very funny. Wait, on stream, she said nothing about off stream. I'm not playing off stream either. I'm not gonna play off stream either. Not interested. Okay, I'm stretching. My posture is good. Oh, Soko, thank you so much for resubscribing. And Roselki, thank you much for the gifted subs. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, her ASMR is pretty much bolter, gunfire, and chainsword revving, honestly. I think that's a really good idea. When the void winks back. What? I didn't know the void felt that way about me. Oh, really? I can't take this seriously. I can't take the blush and the fingers. Oh, Void, you're so dark and mysterious. Wait, Warhammer 40k VTubers exist? Yes! Yes! We exist. We exist. My name is Aurelia. I am a Warhammer VTuber. I read a lot of the books and I became obsessed. And so now I stream because I annoyed my friends enough that they were like, Aurelia, please go talk to someone else. Please stop talking to me about this. I like Warhammer, but you clearly like it more than me, so please go talk to someone else. I exaggerate when I say that. I exaggerate. Shadow, thank you for the bits. The clips keep on coming. Yep, I guess so. Aurelia kissing Sanguinius ASMR. Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief. No, I'm an abhuman. I'm an abhuman, not an Eldar. Don't tell them incorrectly. 40k book reading ASMR. I'd love to do that, but I'm pretty sure GW would, like, smack me into the ground. I'd be 6 feet under. Be a bad time. Bad time. I'm a figment of your imagination? Okay. Go talk to strangers, Aurelia. Okay. Yeah, it is. It didn't go quite down like that. What happened was, I heard about Warhammer from a bunch of friends, and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I found out about Sanguinius. I'm like, oh, dang, he's cute. But I kind of sat on it for probably a year and a half, and then I read I listened to an audiobook, The Lion, Son of the Forest. That was the first Warhammer book I read, and I was like, oh, this is a good book, I liked it. And then I proceeded to devour many more Warhammer books. So my friends were like, oh, Aurelia's finally getting into it. And then I started telling them everything. And they did not, they're like more into like the tabletop game and maybe painting. And I was into the books. And they were like, okay, Aurelia, you need to chill out. I kept telling them everything. And they're like, you know what? You would make a good, like, streamer. What if you talked about this and you, like, streamed it? I was like, you think I would be a good streamer? Like, yeah, like, I mean, if you want, you could even, like, be a VTuber and you don't have to show your face or anything. And I was like, you think I would be a good streamer? Yeah, so here we are. I talk about Warhammer, and I get to be a cute anime girl. Greetings, welcome in. Turns out you're great at streaming and yapping? It's taken some practice. If, we're actually coming up on my 1-year streaming anniversary. I started streaming, it was like once a week. February 15th. I streamed once a week, like every, I think, Thursday. And then it got to the point where I could do it for more than once a week. Mainly because I didn't want to, like, have a ton of streams during, like a weekend and, like, no one was there. So it was, like, once a week was, like, a good compromise for me. So, yeah. Eldar anime girl, false. 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 So, I just like to geek out and be nerdy. And we do fun stuff like this. Hello, welcome in everyone. We're gonna chat a little bit before we get to the fun content I have prepared. It's been a while since I've put together one of these PowerPoints, and it was fun. It was fun. I kind of got this, I get all of my ideas kind of last minute, and I was like, oh, I should, we should do that, and then I have like a week to get it done, and I'm like, well, time to push this in with my already busy schedule. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Eldar are definitely the anime girls of 40k. Okay, that's true, but I am no Eldar. Excuse me? Fun is a violation of the Twitch TOS. It depends on what your version of fun is. Depends. Take a sip of my water. I love all of your theories about my origins. They're really fun. I'm like, that's interesting. I don't know if any of you got it yet. I can't remember though. There's been so many theories that have been thrown out and about. I'm like, I'm not really sure at this point. Did YouTube not? Did the YouTube chat go away again? Oh, there they are. Okay, I was like, what? I was like, did they disappear? Are you excited for the Warhammer 40k series that Henry's gonna make? Yeah, I am hopeful. I'm hopeful. I'm a little, like, a little worried, but I'm hopeful, considering that, you know, he really is respectful of the lore. So, you know, I'm hopeful. But I think he'll do a good job. Rehydration is very important, yes. Maybe having no actual discernible lore is the lore. No, I actually do. I do have lore. But, you know, it's classified by the Inquisition. Maybe one day you guys will know. Maybe one day. Today is not that day. Maybe when my model gets updated. Still in the process of that. Can't wait. Man, I have so many ideas. But I just want to break down. I want to break down and show you all of my ideas, but I can't do that because it's going to be way more fun for it to be a surprise later. Ah! Dying on the inside and the outside. Yo, 50 Stealth, thank you for the super chat. Did you see the new Codices roadmap? I love salamanders, but I did not see it coming. Also, do you have any impression on the Eldar new models? Oh yeah, the Eldar models, they were released in like October, November, right? Those look so cool. Like, okay, this is like incriminating, but like their models are really cool. I wanna like... I want an Eldar army. I want Custodes, I want Blood Angels, and then I want an Eldar army. And I know it's really incriminating because I'm like, I'm not an Eldar, I'm not an abhuman, and you guys say I'm an Eldar, and then I'm like, wow, I really like the High Elves from Warhammer Fantasy. I like their vibe. And then I like how the Eldar look in the models, and all of you give me the side eyes. You guys side eye, and you're like, Aurelia. Aurelia, we know who you really are. And I'm like, ah, no, no. Legit, this is my Dungeons and Dragons character. Any, like, that's what this model is inspired after. Like, legit, any similarities were by pure coincidence. Pure coincidence. Anyways. I just can't get out of it. I say anything. I'm like, oh, I like pointed ears. And you guys are like, oh, she likes pointed ears. She must be an elf. No. So you're a D&D elf? No, actually, Fire Genasi. Fire Genasi is the original race of this original character. Fire Genasi is like fire and elemental and a human had a baby. At least that's my interpretation of it. It's been a while since I've looked at Dungeons & Dragons 5e and like read all of that stuff. It gives me so it's a fire sorcerer, basically. I just do all the fire magic, and I wanted that race because it gives me resistance to fire damage. So I took it. It's getting a little steamy in this dating stream. We haven't... What? I'm sorry, what? 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 What have I said that's been steamy? What? Huh? Explain. Explain. What classes have I played for D&D? Not too many. I don't have the luxury of getting to play all the time. My favorite class is Sorcerer and Paladin, but I usually play more Sorcerer. I like to be magical girl. So I've played Sorcerer, I've played Paladin, I've played Cleric, Bard, I think I played Warlock for a one-shot. What else? A Druid for a one-shot. I think that's it. So, like, only 5 or 6 different classes. Finally get to catch a stream again. Well, welcome in. I'm glad you got to come back here. Sorcery. Yes, I love... I really... I want to play another character. Because my current character basically looks like this one. And she's a Phoenix sorcerer. She's really cool. But I want to do one that's a storm sorcerer, where I shoot lightning bolts at people. Ah! That would be... I really want to play that one, because if you build your character right and you do storm sorcerer and you combine it with cleric, there's like a certain kind of cleric. Tempest cleric with storm sorcerer, and you can use meta magic, and you can just... Oh... I've seen the builds, and honestly, you can do some incredible things. And I want to take advantage of it. So, that would be what my next character, if I get the opportunity to do such a thing. So, you are a Phoenix Lord. No, I didn't say that. That's my Dungeons & Dragons character. Because I saw Unearthed Arcana Phoenix Sorcerer, and I was like, this looks really cool. It's busted and broken, by the way. And my DM said yes. Said, yes, you can play that. And I said, oh my goodness, thank you. It is great. My favorite thing is that for Phoenix Sorcerer and Unearthed Arcana, if you hit like, it's like 17th or 18th level, when you cast fire spells, you actually get, you get health back. So if I cast a 5th level fire spell, I get 5 points, 5 extra health points based on the spell level, and then plus my charisma modifier. So it's usually like I cast a spell and I gain 10 hit points. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's great. I love it. I love it. I was playing 5e. Healing through fire. It is very Warhammer. I didn't think about it that way. Hello, Manic Raccoon. Hi. Let the flames heal you. Yes. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. Recently, I had an awesome boss fight. Warhammer themed campaign. Awesome boss fight. Where we have this MacGuffin that has, it's a pistol that shoots a anti-psyker toxin, and we were fighting a really strong psyker, and we were like, it was bad. We had one player down, and then we had the other one who was mind controlled and trying to attack me, and I got the MacGuffin in my hand. And for full disclosure, my character is not good with like guns, not good at all. And I was like, oh, this is bad. And I didn't, what did I roll? I didn't roll a nat 20, but I did roll incredibly high considering my character is not good with that at all. And I think I hit her with like, what did I get? It was like a 27. It was something insane. And dude, ended the combat. It was awesome. It was so cool. You had to have been there. It was, I felt very cool in that moment, because it was like, if I miss, like, we're done. We're done for. The campaign is over. Like, I have to make this shot. What class were you? I'm still Phoenix Sorcerer. This character concept I've had for several years now. Since like 2019. And I've played her in multiple campaigns just because some of them have fallen through. But I wanted to see her story, like, play out. So. Well, thank you for the super chat. Do you follow Joe Cat's first Just Fireball plan? No, I have a variety of things, but my favorite thing to do is I also get special buffs. My DM basically gave me fire immunity. So if I really wanted to, I could cast Fireball on my location and I wouldn't get hurt. It's great. It's great. So I can, like, basically put myself in harm's way to create more damage and chaos. It's the best. I am the fire. what's that? What is the name of that band? Yeah. Hailstorm. Hailstorm. That's a good song. That's on my D&D playlist. Aurelia Power Fantasy and D&D, it's just to destroy, honestly. And Hunter, welcome to the Legionnaire. I hope you're having a good day today. Thank you for joining us. Oh, welcome to the Legionnaire. I need to change that. Welcome to the Auxilia is what it should be. I cast death. Little dance. What would be the closest equivalent to a Warhammer 40k psyker with fire affinity and D&D? They do have psykers that have like an emphasis. If you've ever played Rogue Trader, the video game that they have psyker, like they have like an emphasis, so you can be like a pyrokinetic psyker in Rogue Trader. So you can do that. Get the heavy flamer. Yeah, I like fire. Even as like a personal thing, I think fire and flames, they're cool. I like the flames. Parents moving candles away from me. My mom, especially during Christmas time, she has like a lot of candles, mainly like little tea lights, because she has all these decorations. And so in the evenings, she'd be like, hey, do you want to help me light the candles? I'm like, yes, absolutely. And I take the little lighter and I go around lighting them. So, it's good. So, yeah. Okay, do we think we are we ready? Are we ready for the fun that is going to be, well, the fun that I hope is this stream? Are we ready? Date planning 101? Do we want to? Do we want to do it? The fun that will be fun? Yes. Or the... We need the details. Yeah. You know, I teased it for quite a bit. Sanguineous? Maybe. Who knows? Okay. How is the background music, by the way? Can you hear it? Is it hard to hear? How are we feeling about the music? Because I just want to make sure it's perfect. Okay. Because it's a different playlist than what I normally have. Oh my gosh, it's already been... Wow. We have been streaming for about 30 minutes now. Wow. Sufficiently romantic. Oh, good. I didn't want to go too crazy. It's kind of got like a little bit of just a little bit of ambiance. And unfortunately, because it's a playlist, I can't balance all the sounds. So it's like a bunch of different songs. So some are loud, some are quiet. It is different. Okay. So this is, I'm gonna do this. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna take my headphones off because I don't need the music. Helps me focus better instead of like hearing the music. Okay. Now, date planning 101. Now, you might be asking, Aurelia, why are we doing this? Haven't you already done something similar? We talked about going on dates with Primarchs that one time you had scuff, which I would say is I always have scuff. We did talk about that, but I want to bring it to everyone's attention. And also, before we get into it, I looked at my YouTube analytics and I'm pretty sure they're very well mirrored on the Twitch side. 99% of you, and it's like exactly 99%, according to YouTube, of you are men. And I would like to remind you that Valentine's Day is a little less than a month away. So, I want you guys to start thinking about it now. Yes, because I don't want you to pull up 1 week before Valentine's Day and be like, oh no, I have not planned anything for my special lady or my special person. Or my mom, like if you get your mom something that's sweet. Whoa, did we just get a raid? Did we just get a raid? I think we just got raided on the YouTube side. I cannot tell. I think so. Yo! Welcome in, Nikki. Hi! Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Aurelia Tempris. I am a Warhammer Vtuber. I talk about all things Warhammer, and I do a lot of variety streaming. You actually came in at a perfect time. I am providing some suggestions for everyone for Valentine's Day with a little fun Warhammer twist to it. So welcome in, those of you on the YouTube side. What did you guys do for stream? I hope you guys had fun. I apologize, YouTube is a touch delayed, but I am seeing all of your messages. So what were you up to today? The Nutheads. Is that the chat name? That's adorable. I love that name. My chat is called the Battle Brothers. The Nutheads. That's really cute though. But yes, please tell me what you were up to today. I must know. We celebrated 50K. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. Hey mods, can one of you please find her channel and drop the link? Please and thank you. Congratulations on 50K. That's incredible. That's a huge achievement. Man, can't wait to get there one day. Putting random stuff in a scrapbook. Well, hey, look, I like to scrapbook too. I keep, like, I think the only reason I wouldn't keep it is if I missed it. I keep, like, all of the art that everyone makes. Oh my gosh, congratulations on 50K. That is an amazing accomplishment. And you only started just recently, too, if I believe. I think so. Oh my gosh. That's so exciting. Yeah, everyone on Twitch is saying congrats to you. Good, good. She calls us the Nutheads because she's a mechanic who works with nuts and bolts. Yes, I figured as much. I love that theme. It's adorable, and I need to pop into more streams because, like, I've, like, lurked, but I'm a notorious lurker, so I don't talk very much. So I just, like, watch and I don't say anything. So, oh my gosh, 50K, that's so cool. I'm gonna make sure, let's see. Hear the clickety clack of my keyboard. There we go. Oh yes, I need to watch more of these because I've seen some of these videos and I'm like, oh man, I should get in there more. Yay! Okay. Can't get the link. Okay, let me get it. Let me get the link. I want to make sure more. Can we, this one, copy link. Copy link address, let me put it down. Oop. There we go. We're gonna put it in both chats. Please follow, keep her going, get her, I think she's past 50K now, but get her to 100, please and thank you. Nikki always calls out the lurkers. I'm shy. I'm a little shy. I'm a little nerdy. I'm a little shy. Okay, I will say something next time. How about that? How about that? Well, Aurelia, you're on your way to 20K, so it's only a matter of time. Yeah, but you know what? I like to. Whatever milestones I'll meet, they'll happen when they happen. I found that sometimes when I freak out about the details, my performance is not as good. So, you know what? I am happy with whatever pace that I've got. So, what about you, my lady? Let's get you 50k next. Well, I won't hold you to it, but I'm happy that you're all here and hanging out. So should we start on this? Thank you again for the raid. Congratulations again. That is an awesome achievement. It's legal to lurk if you file your taxes. I file my taxes. Okay. So, as I was saying before, Valentine's Day is less than a month away. So, I have got a ton of different ideas that you can use for your upcoming, well, if you decide to go on a date with anyone. I have a bunch of ideas for you so you can plan now. Because let me tell you, nothing, at least to a woman, I will say from a woman's perspective, nothing is more attractive than when you plan the entire date for them. It's great. Okay, let's start. So, planning a date. Here's what you need to know. Like I said, be thoughtful and remember the little details. So kudos to you if you know your loved one's like favorite drink. Like if you keep all of these little details in mind, like their favorite drink, where they like to eat, favorite color, just little tiny things about them. From my perspective, it goes a long way. It goes a long, long way. I highly recommend it. On top of that, I also, and this is not going to be the case, this is not going to be the case for every woman, but if you plan the entire date, I personally find it very attractive because it shows that you are capable of making plans and putting them together. Also, it makes you look very confident and assured. But fair warning, if your girl doesn't like that and she prefers to plan it, or you guys want to plan your date together, that is acceptable. That is perfectly acceptable. My girlfriend has to work on the 14th. Do you think she'll like me bringing her chocolate at work, or is it too much? Well, I would say it depends on your girlfriend. Does she get embarrassed in like public situations? Because she could possibly find it embarrassing. I don't know why. I think it would be very nice personally, but it kind of depends on her personality. Yes, Rose Selkie, thank you. That is a very good point. As a woman, someone else planning takes away the mental load. Because I know sometimes with girls, we're like, we want to be pursued and desired. And if someone else does the planning, it shows intentionality in that you like, hey, I want to do something with you. I want to do something so much that I am willing to plan all of this for us. So, yeah. Now, if you do plan the entire date, give her an idea of what to wear, because there is nothing more frustrating than when someone plans an outing and you're like, hey, what are you gonna wear? And let's say she wears like a dress and you're wearing sweatpants. She's gonna be like, oh, did I overdress or did he underdress? And that's a little detail to worry about. So take into consideration what you have planned. So if you make it a surprise, tell her like, hey, this is what I plan to wear. I'm gonna wear my dress pants and a button up, or I'm gonna wear my dress pants and a polo. Those are two very different vibes. So there you go. Give her an idea of what to wear, because girls, for the most part, think about it. Not all of them. I will say these are generalizations. Most of this is based on things that... They're based on things that I would like, but I tried to make them general enough that if you had a girl who was like a little bit different, you might find something better. Like, they might do it a little differently. But I am in no means saying that I'm the baseline in terms of women. You didn't see it, but my hand was in front of my face and I did a little jazz hand there. The last thing is, and this is just a really like a tiny point, I don't have any expectations. That can really kill the vibes if you have like expectations on how things are supposed to go. Just focus on showing that you care about them as a person. So it doesn't matter if you kiss, it doesn't matter if you hold hands. Man, heaven forbid you hold hands on a date. just focus on them. And if you plan the day and you keep in mind those details about them that really make them who they are, it'll help you out in the long run. So, yeah, not the hand-holding. Too much hand-holding nowadays. These kids. Hand-holding is so lewd. So, now, for the rest of this, I have a bunch of date and gift ideas for you. Like, a lot. But the way I've divided it up is I've taken the 18 Primarchs from Warhammer 40k, and for the most part, I've put them into stereotypes. I've given them attributes that I think fit their personalities. So, if you don't have any ideas on what to do, you're like, man, I don't know, we usually like sit around and we play video games, I would recommend maybe trying something different, something to mix it up. Take a look at the personality traits I have applied to each Primarch. It is by no means like the end-all be-all. There's way more things you could say about them. Just a general idea, and try to compare them to your loved one or the person you like. So then you can get an idea of like, oh, she might like this for a gift, or she might like to do this activity. Feel free to use any of these ideas, okay? Just make sure you pick what you think they will like the best. Not what you would like the best, what they would like the best. Okay, are we ready? So we're gonna go through the whole list of all the Primarchs, and I'm gonna give you a bunch of suggestions. Yep, that's correct. Even the gamer girls want more than just game dates. I can confirm that is true. Like, it's even... And I would say you don't even have to do this for just Valentine's Day. So if you're busy around Valentine's Day, maybe plan something for like the few days after that. Even if you go on dates consistently, doing something like different to show that you really care about her and love her. Like, I don't know, it just says a lot. Alright, sorry, lots of talking, lots of water drinking. Alrighty. So, we're starting with your boy, Lionel Johnson. The attributes I have given him: reserved, pragmatic, and adventurous. Pretty standard. Oh, by the way, I have credited... I have little credits for the art, but they're covered up by my borders. But I will call out the artist at the end. We have some art from Chroma, J Flare, and also, oh, I don't know how to say it, Genius? I think, but is great art. So, you forgot Paranoid. So, here's the thing. I didn't want to focus on a lot of the negative attributes of the Primarchs because I don't want you to necessarily see your partners in that light. Because, like, do you want me to say, oh yes, I have a girlfriend who is paranoid? I don't think that's a great way to look at someone. So I tried my best to stick to positive attributes. And of course, I couldn't do every single one. So, honestly, when is Games Workshop going to release a Primarch dating simulator? Hopefully soon. I would have so much fun. I would have so much fun. Okay, so I've broken it down into activities, and I've also broken it down into gifts. I have also, in the spirit of making things a little easier for everyone, I have done my best to, for each category, to create low-cost activities, medium-cost activities, and higher-end cost activities. Just so, even if you can't spend a lot of money, you can still find a way to be really thoughtful and have a good date. At least that was my take. So, and not all of them will have 3 options for each. I just did my best. I did my best. So, activities. You could go to the zoo. We know that the lion, he likes to hunt down animals, and I thought going to a zoo might be nice. They've been more expensive nowadays, but they're pretty nice to just walk around and talk and just have good conversation. Personally, for me. Self-defense classes. I will say a lot of these things that I wrote down are things that I would also like. It's like a kind of across the board. But I think it would be really cool if you learned like some self-defense techniques together. So, like, sometimes it's kind of fun. I had self-defense class as a date. Yeah. Is that weird? Is that weird? Oh gosh. I had I knew someone that had like a black belt in Taekwondo. Was it Taekwondo or karate? I don't remember. I think it was Taekwondo. And guys, I'm not saying it's the excuse to touch them. No, stop it. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I just found I learned a lot of self-defense techniques from that person. And I was like, wow, that would actually be kind of like a fun date. Ah, that's not what I meant. Oh gosh, that's not what I meant. Oh. No, oh my gosh, we've only gotten the first slide and I didn't even think about that. The last one is going to play paintball or airsoft. Now, as I said, I tried to match these traits, these character traits to the activities. So personally, I would love to go paintballing. Sounds like a blast. Like, it's awesome. But it's not gonna work for every single girl, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, not every girl wants to go play paintball. Some of them want to get their nails done, and that's okay. I can relate and understand. Now, gifts. Gifts. Foam swords. I was recently gifted some by my siblings. So much fun. So much fun. Because we got to beat the crap out of each other. It was so much fun. Oh, ALJ, thank you for the super chat. In the immortal words of Spike, I love the kind of woman who can who can beat me up. So, foam swords. I have a weighted vest. And also, by the way, I relate to Lionel Johnson the most. He and I are very similar. So I felt pretty, I felt pretty good about putting down what I would actually want in this category. Weighted vest for training. I use one when I go running, and it's great. It's awesome. The last one, a replica sword or knife. Hey, if you want to tell a girl you love her, give her a sword. And not that kind of sword. Not that kind of sword. Let me make that clear. Let me make that clear. Okay? Look me in the face. Okay? Alright? Are we good? Thank you. This one. Yeah, there we go. You brought that up. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we said nothing aloud. Yeah, see, you thought it. I'm just making sure. That's part of the Inquisition. We're also making sure you're not thinking of anything heretical. So. Okay, so those are the gifts and ideas. Please write down all these ideas. Feel free to use them. Steal from me shamelessly. I don't care. I don't care. I want you guys to have successful dates. Fulgrim. Charismatic, creative, and passionate. And we kept this one safe for work. These are all safe for work options, okay? These are all safe for work options, okay? So we're mainly talking about the pre-heresy Primarchs, okay? Okay. Safe for Inquisition. Actually, I love that better. Safe for Inquisition is much better than safe for work. I love that. I love that. Incredible. Activities. you can visit an art gallery. Art galleries, from my understanding, are relatively inexpensive. Sometimes they're free, depending on the area or like where you go. It could be an art gallery, some sort of art exhibit. It varies. Dance lessons. Let me tell you, I keep an eye on, even though I'm not a book talk girly anymore, I keep an eye on what books are popular. And I know one thing that girls really like, that's not really a skill most men have nowadays, is dancing. And there's something that is very romantic about dancing. So if you wanted to learn how to dance, and I originally said like classical dancing, but honestly you could do whatever. You could do square dancing, you could do like tango, you can do a bunch of different types of dances. As long as your girl thinks it would be fun, hey, go for it. Like, honestly, it is kind of like sweet. It's like, hey, do you want to dance? And you guys get to be close. It's kind of cute, in my opinion. Give her the old razzle dazzle. Yeah, you're right. Now, one that is definitely on the very, 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 very expensive end, or can be, is doing a wine tasting at a vineyard, or sometimes even like restaurants. They'll have wine tastings that are like paired with dinners. So sometimes it gets paired with like your appetizers, your entree, desserts. That can be really, really nice. See, I know you say ew to wine, but it isn't about what you like, it's about what she likes. Ideally, you somewhat like it. Like, in an ideal world, you like it a little bit. However, it could be a fun thing if it's not just wine tasting and you, like, have a meal with it. Now, gifts. Gifts for the lady. That is a lot like Fulgrim. Cute jewelry for dates. I know sometimes it's, like, overdone, like you get them like a necklace or something. My recommendation, when I say cute jewelry, what I really mean is customized jewelry. I will tell you this, I have jewelry that my dad got for me, and I wouldn't necessarily call them like expensive, but they're customized in a way where it'll like have my name on it, or it'll have some sort of thing that, like, how do I explain? It's just meaningful to me because my dad took the time to like get my name engraved on it, or whatever it happens to be. It doesn't have to be expensive. You can go on Etsy and there's a lot of people who do it for like relatively like cheap prices. So I highly recommend if you do something like that, and even better, I wouldn't, this is just a me thing, don't get her jewelry that has your name on it. That sounds really like odd, but you want to give her something that will last a long time. Even if you guys don't end up staying together, it's thoughtful to get her something that even if you guys aren't together anymore, you will still have something like that she'll have for a while, if it's cute. Welcome, welcome, Raiders on the YouTube side again. Welcome in. I hope you guys had a good stream. Welcome in. I hope, what were you guys up to today? We got more raiders on the YouTube side. It's a raid party on YouTube. What were you up to? My chats aren't loading. Oh, that is a good point. If you get something with your name on it, plus it makes it seem like you're marking her as your property, it depends on the girl's vibes. Like if I was given something with like someone's name on it, like it depends on how I felt about them. But like, they're more likely to throw it away if you guys don't like work out. Don't get, okay, everyone, listen up. Listen up. Do not ever there are certain circumstances in which it is acceptable, but don't ever get a significant other's name tattooed on your body. Don't do that. That is a bad idea. Do not. Okay, it's just not a good idea. No, don't get name tattoos like that. It's just don't do it. It's just a bad practice. It's a bad practice. Matching tattoos are often a recipe for regret. Yeah, there are like certain instances where it's okay. Like, if you got your mom's name, like, actually, don't get your mom's name tattooed on you. That's weird. Don't do that either. I was like, what if you got your mom's? No, that's weird. Oedipus complex there. Don't do that. Do not tattoo my name on your chest. Do not do that. Don't do that. Please do not. I do not want to see it. Although it is very flattering, don't get me tattooed on your body. That is a bad call. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please and thank you. No, I'm saying don't do tattoos. I'm not saying don't do tattoos. I'm not saying that. I am not a huge tattoo person. I say that with the golden tattoos on my face. Anyways, I am not a huge fan of tattoos, and they look fine on other people. That's just not a me thing. Not me getting another on Saturday. I hope it's a cute one. See, some people are like all about the tattoos, and I don't care. Aurelia has sanguineous tattooed under her ormite. No, I don't. Oh gosh, no I don't, okay? Personally, if I ever got a tattoo, it would need to be like a meaningful tattoo. That's my personal opinion. Getting a kitsune sketch style. Oh, but it's like a cat. Oh, that's cute though. Send me the picture. Send me a picture, Froggy. Send me a picture, Froggy. Can we give Froggy a shout out, please? Mods, can we shout out Froggy on Twitch, please? Yay. Yay. Thank you, thank you. Everyone go follow Froggy. She does lots of cool mini painting. Honestly, so skilled. So skilled. Anyways, I'm not saying don't get a tattoo. What I'm really saying is really think before you get a tattoo. Don't get someone's name on your body. I think it's just a good practice. No regrets. I love that one. No regrets. Okay, we went off the rails. We went off the rails there. Okay. Now, cute, customized jewelry. Don't get your name on the jewelry. Do something that she would like. If you're dating a girl like Fulgrim, you better believe if you get her a crown or a tiara, she will love you. She will love you. Dude, you have no idea. If I got gifted a crown, I would be like, oh my gosh, you are so cool. You're so cool for that. Get her a crown. It's different if she asks you to get her a crown versus her. Like, if she asks you for it, I feel like that's kind of a red flag. But if she already, like, if you get it for her. Yes, I do. No, I have a tiara. I have a tiara. I've never been gifted a tiara, though. I have, what do I have? I have 3 crowns. They're for, like, cosplaying things. Can it be a paper crown? You could do a paper crown. I don't know how much that would impress her. But you can find some reasonably priced ones on the internet. If you're dating a girl like Fulgrim, don't. That's okay, that's not necessarily the case. There are some redeeming qualities about Fulgrim. Yes, he's a very flawed person, but who isn't? These are just general ideas. These are just general ideas, okay? Is that a throne recommendation? No, I'm not gonna go put a crown on my throne page. I'm definitely not doing that. No. No. Okay. Now, the last item is a fancy perfume. It's not something I would personally want. I've never been into like the Calvin Klein, whatever, insert funny name for a perfume. But sometimes girls really like those really fancy perfumes. Yeah, perfume is something you'd really need to know. You kind of need to know them really well. Are we ranking the Primarchs? No, actually, Froggy, I am telling chat to prepare for Valentine's Day because it's coming up. And I'm giving them ideas based on the different Primarch personalities. So if you have a girl that's kind of like Fulgrim, a little more fancy, a little more classy, charismatic, different activities you can do for your dates, and different gift ideas. So, more red flags than a bullfight. Okay, that's really funny. I might steal that. I'm gonna steal that line. Thank you very much. It has been stolen by the Blood Ravens. Thank you. So, this is what you do if you got a Fulgrim as a girl. Send the girl, what Primarch quiz are you? Yes, actually, that's a great way to start it. What Primarch are you? What about a goth woman? Don't worry. We have 18 Primarchs. We've got a lot. We have got a lot to get through. Now we have Perturabo. I actually had a hard time with this one because he is a very, well, he's not impressed by anything anymore because he's just so smart. It's difficult. Even though he behaves poorly. So, Perturabo, meticulous, innovative, and determined. So kind of an engineering style person, which I have a hard time like coming up with ideas for. So, sorry about this one. We've got nerds, goths, tomboys, Perturabo, all types of girls. So activities, studying new topics. What I'm recommending here is like maybe you have dinner and you sit down and you ask them about their interests. Like, hey, tell me about this thing that you built, and where they can talk to you and be like, hey, let me explain all of what I know to you, letting them talk about the things that they're passionate about. That is kind of what I was going with. Or you guys can like come together and explore something new. Yes, Froggy, get your stuff done and then get the sleep. Thank you for popping by. This is a fun stream in my opinion. Perturabo is the arts and crafts girl? No, you are wrong. Perturabo is not the arts and crafts girl. Perturabo is your engineering girl. Okay? Another thing you can do is an at-home tinkering day. So if you have like a project, or like they have a project they want to work on, you can even be in the same room and be like, hey, let's build something together. Let's do something together. Yeah, so I only had 2 ideas because I was trying to think of something that's like out of the house, but Perturabo honestly gives me like, I'd like to stay in kind of vibes. Gifts, tool organizer. So if I imagine someone like Perturabo has like a workbench or like a crafting area, tool organizer would be great. Also, I saw this, I've seen some model kits on the internet because I did a lot of like, I looked at a lot of different stuff to put this presentation together. I've seen some like kits that are like little miniature engine models. So there's like a Lego-esque version of that. Would be really cool. Like there's that. And also like a regular standard like Warhammer miniature kit. So you can build miniatures together. It doesn't have to be Warhammer. It could even be like other brands, or I've seen like miniature doll houses, which look really cute, and I'd like to do one eventually, but they look a little complicated. Just a little complicated. So that could be fun as well. Or the metal miniatures. I actually had that written down, but I didn't know how like popular or like how many people knew about those. I tried to do one of those, did not like. It broke really easily on me. So, Perturabo, not as like detailed. There are some Primarchs I know more about or I have a better vibe for because I've like read their books and or I like them more. So like I like Fulgrim as a character better than I like Perturabo as a character. So there's that. Now, Jagatai Khan, free-spirited, contemplative, and flexible. Very go with the flow kind of guy. Very, very chill. Now, activities that you can do with the Khan. Oh yeah, and if you guys have any ideas of what might be good for some of the other Primarchs, throw them in the chat. This is not like the end-all be-all. This is a place where we can come up with so many ideas. And if you see something, you're like, Aurelia, this is perfect for my girl, or this is perfect for my person, tell me. Tell me. I love to know that I helped you out planning your date. Activities, hiking or walking nature trails, relatively inexpensive. Sometimes you have to get in a car to drive somewhere. That's nice. But those can be really, really soothing and relaxing. And you know what? You can pack a lunch and you can like enjoy the view and just spend time together. Some people really like that. Another one is a picnic in the park. Very, very chill. You can get food, like you get takeout, or you can make the lunch together, which would be really cute. That'll be really cute, honestly. And then just hang out if the weather is nice. Weather permitting. These are also ideas for regular dates if you want them too. The last one is a bike motorcycle ride. I know some cities have like audio tours where you can like ride on a bike or walk around the city. And you get to like know fun facts about, you know, X city. I'm sure there's like other things that you can do just right around the countryside or the area. That would be nice too. Mulan style date? Yeah. We could have put horseback riding down, but I didn't want to get too far in the weeds on that one. That's also like kind of expensive and not everyone has like easy access to that. What do I do if it snows where I am? Well, you'll just have to be a little creative and come up with something different. Gifts. An incense burner. Honestly, I used to not really be a huge fan of like incense and the smell, but honestly, there's so many cute little incense like holders and like little burners. They're kind of cute. If your girl's kind of that way, that might be a good gift for her. Driving gloves. I have a friend. I was talking to them, and their mom has driving gloves. Their mom has driving gloves, and I was like, why does she have driving gloves? She drives like a Prius. But I thought that would be funny. Oh man, I didn't think about archery. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, put that on the list too. You could also do archery. That would be fun. Or a comedy club because the Khan is the roast master. That is, no, those are two great ideas. I forgot that he is the roast master. That's hilarious. Okay, now, the last one, it was kind of like a gimme. Not that you would give someone this gift, because it can be really expensive, but this is kind of the idea that I had. Motorcycle equipment. If you are dating someone who does have a motorcycle, figure out like what things maybe need to be replacing. Do they need a new helmet? Do they need leathers? You should get them leathers if they don't have riding leathers, because you don't want them to get hurt if something happens. So there's a bunch of different things you can do there. Yeah, or give them like a cool jacket. Yeah. See, that'd be neat. Leman Russ. Boisterous, also adventurous, and loyal. A little different from the lion, not quite the same, but you know, still different enough that we're gonna talk about it. Cat Cafe. Why? Why would you go to a cat cafe with Leman Russ? What the heck? Now, date ideas. First one, hiking and or camping. That can be expensive, depending on like your equipment and what you already have. But a nice like mountainous hike would be really fun. And a lot of you already said this, a bar crawl. Or go to like a themed bar. I've been, in the past, I've been to some themed bars, and those can be really fun. Those can be really, really fun. So, that one can get expensive though. Just, you know, a heads up, if you do a bar crawl, please be responsible and have a designated driver, or get an Uber. Any of those things I highly recommend. Please be safe. Exercise caution. Please and thank you. The last one, axe throwing. I've always wanted to go. Axe throwing. Dude, I would have so much fun. So I think Liam and Russ would have a really, really good time. See, I would love to put the Ren Fair down, but like, I don't know about you guys, but like the Ren Fair happens at different times for like people. So it may not be around for Valentine's Day, but the Ren Fair would be great for like a Liam and Russ type person, like maybe at other times of the year. It just kind of depends on when it's in your area. So, I don't know. Now, gifts. Get them a drink. Or like make them your favorite drink. You could like do this at home. You could do this at home. Like you buy them a drink, or you can like make it at home for them. Get a fun cup to put beverages in. So, I'll tell you, I've been to thrift stores and I found amazing cups that I drink my beverages out of. It's fantastic. So if you get them a cool like Stein or a Viking horn, I mean, I'm all for it. They might not be, but I think it's fun. So you can do that. And the last one is a gimme. Get them a big axe. See, it is similar to the line, but it's just a little different. Just a little different. Get them a big axe. It's edgy. Yes, it is. You could axe them out. Am I funny, chat? Am I funny? Am I funny? Don't worry, I find myself funny anyways. Repent? No, I refuse. I refuse. Anyways, we'll go to the next. Don't quit your day job. I mean, I serve the Emperor, so it's like the only way I could quit is if I decided to like step down from being like my regular watch. I'd have to be like an Eye of the Emperor or something like that. This is the day job? No. No, this is not the day job. Would be cool though, right? Would be very cool. Anyways. Oh, Rogel Dorn. Stoic, honest, and what? I forgot to write that down. I thought I checked all my slides. And so it appears we do not have a third trait for Rogel Dorn. Like I said, we're going off positive things. We're going off positive things. I'm not gonna call Dorn dense. Activities. Build a fort with her favorite snacks. If you do anything at home, get the good snacks. So you can build a fort and then maybe you watch a show and you hang out. Third trait, blunt. Stop it. Stop it. Be polite. Be polite to Dorn. Be polite. What? Who am I dating? No. See, I'm giving recommendations. I have given all of the Primarch's traits, and I'm helping you come up with date ideas for Valentine's Day that's coming up in less than a month. So I'm not dating anyone. I'm just giving you ideas. Okay, now, you could go to a museum of military history. So if there's a place that talks about cannons, go to that place. That could be fun. I think it would be fun. I went to, one of my favorite things, actually, is I went to Washington, D.C. a while ago. And while I was there, we were visiting the Smithsonian. And part of one of the many buildings that's part of the Smithsonian was talking about, like, Americans in war. And I didn't know, I should have known that we had this. But we, oh gosh, it's been ages since I've gone. 1 second. I need to, I want to make sure I get this right. I forgot his name. I'm so bad. Oh, okay. So, there we go. So, if you're familiar with American history, the Battle of Yorktown was really important for the American Revolution. And one of the commanders from the British surrendered his sword to George Washington. So they surrendered. And we have that sword. I mean, obviously it makes sense that we would keep that thing and we would, like, cherish it and treasure it for all eternity. But I was going through the museum and I saw the sword and I was like, dude, that is so cool. Like, the things that you wouldn't expect us to have. We also have the flag that inspired the Star Spangled Banner. We kept that too. It's not in the best condition, but yeah, Cornwallis's sword. Dude, it's so cool. So I think that would be a fun thing to go check out. Not necessarily in Washington, D.C. or something like, even something similar if it's talking about medieval stuff. Yeah, it's cool. Now, the last one is the most expensive one because you can build Legos together. A Lego building date, which it can be expensive or relatively inexpensive based on what you get. If you get sets for the both of you, it could be expensive, but if you just get her a set, maybe it'll be fine. So, Lego building date, gifts, Legos. I love Legos. I'd be down to get Legos. Actually, fun fact. So, my dad is really, 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 really sweet. So, my dad for me, for Valentine's Day, he always gets me like some sort of Valentine's gift, like a little card. It's usually like a meme or a pun, and it's really funny. Cause his thought is like, hey, I am your Valentine as like your father, like not in a creepy way. So let's get that out of the way. It's not in a creepy way. But he's like, hey, I'm your father, and until you find the man that you want to marry, I'm your Valentine. And he always gets me something. So it's like, so he'll get me Lego sets. He'll get me Lego sets for Valentine's Day, and it's like, it's really sweet. So it's, I don't know, I like it. I have a really good relationship with my dad, so it's just sweet that he does that. Shouldn't we get Dorn Duplos for his giant Primarch hands? Well, we're talking about a girl that is like Dorn. Okay? Okay. So, yeah, that's just something my dad does, so, I get, like, Legos on Valentine's Day. My dad is really good. I like him. I like him a lot. If a girl got me Legos, she'd have me forever. Aww. You'll find her. You'll find her. LJ, thank you for the super chat. You'll find her. It's a matter of time. More people are getting into Legos nowadays. Especially since there's a lot of the flower Lego sets, which is what I was going to recommend. Someone else said it in the chat, but I was going to recommend, if you're not sure what she would like, the flower Lego sets are kind of cool. They are expensive. Oh my gosh, they're so expensive. So, based Spider Dad, thank you, thank you. It's so funny because a lot of you like say really nice things about my dad, and I would really like to share those things with him, but he doesn't know I stream just yet. Maybe soon I'll tell him. Just that I do it as like I do it as a hobby, but you guys say so many nice things about my dad. So many nice things. Now, high quality power tools. I don't ever buy power tools, so I don't know how expensive they are. So I just kind of put it up there. Get them some good power tools. I don't know how many girls like power tools, but I know my mom has a friend who got like a bandsaw and was very excited when she got it because she does lots of like crafting. So she was very excited. I know they're very expensive. But you know what I think is the most expensive that you should get your girl, who is a lot like Rogel Dorn? A Bane blade. A Bane blade. And I'm not talking the miniature. I'm saying get her a tank. Because girls love tanks. Girls love tanks. Okay? Okay? Get her a tank. She wants a tank. The date's like, honey, let's just go to Home Depot. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. Be like, babe, pick out whatever flooring you want. Pick out whatever tile you want. Get her a tank with these oil prices. Do you love her? Do you really love her if you don't get her a tank? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. It doesn't matter what you get someone. That doesn't prove how much you love them. How much you spent on it does not matter. It is the thought and the intention behind it. Conrad Kurz. Build her a killdozer. Bruh. Oh my god. Like, oh my. So like, are you putting her inside it? Oh my goodness. Okay there. Anyways, we're gonna go to Conrad Kurz, who is perceptive, mysterious, and he's a little haunted. So, for those of you who asked about your goth girlies, pay attention. Pay attention. Okay? Goth. Goth options. Activities. Late night gaming. That might be something you already do. Sometimes, well, you know, sometimes, if you decide to do this late night gaming, even though you already do it, get extra snacks, get like favorite drinks, like make it like a good time. Dedicate all of your attention to her, okay? Because you guys might game in the same room and play different things. See if you can play something together. Like, I think, there's a game called It Takes Two. Not very goth, but, that is, from what I've heard, I've never played it actually. It sounds like a very fun game to play. So, a guided city tour. So similar to what I was saying about, like the biking tours or the motorcycle tours, just walking around the city, you can sometimes find those guided tours, and that might be really nice. Kind of get those like city vibes. You can check out bars in the area, or some of those like hole-in-the-wall restaurants, which honestly serve the best food sometimes. Like, it's incredible. It can be the most run-down looking place, but dang, they have fantastic pizza. I can't explain it. It just happens. It just happens. Don't Starve. Playing that game. I have not played that game. I have not heard of it. Maybe I've heard of it, but it's been a while if that's the case. So you can also, there's a bunch of fun games. Find something that you guys like together. The last one, you could do an escape room. Some of those escape rooms are like, they have really good themes. I did one that was like fantasy themed. It's been a while since I've done an escape room, if I'm being honest. But some of them can be very intense. It's very intense. So if you're into like a really intense scenario, that could be a good one for you. Or you guys could, it could be really bad because you're screaming at each other trying to escape when it's a really bad situation. Depends on how comfortable you guys are. Gifts. Now, first thing not the first thing, one of the first things I thought of was bath bombs. And I was like, well, that's not very goth girl. But I actually found out that they have bath bombs that are in the shape of skulls, which are kind of cool. And like it'll turn the water black or like dark colors or like red like blood. So I thought that would be really cool for the goth girlies that want to relax. Lush is Lush. I don't shop at places. Is Lush a bath bomb place or is like okay. That I just thought that was a good option. Another one, dark cloaks. If your girl has a darker color palette, get her like a nice like long sleeved, like big long like droopy sleeve jacket. Oh my gosh, she'll love you forever. She'll love you forever. So a nice dark cloak that can also be used for like cosplaying. It'll be good. It'll go with like her vibes. Also the last one, if you can't think of anything else, you know, the blood of her enemies will probably suffice. It is on the very expensive side, so I really wouldn't recommend it. But you know, if you manage to get it, I think she'd love you forever. She would love you forever. Okay? Honestly. Oh, taxidermy, that's terrible. If she was into it, I can't say I am. But, what's wrong with taxidermy? It's just not everyone finds it very palatable. Some of them it's fine. Like, I don't mind, like, the deer heads mounted on a wall, but sometimes it's, like, unnerving and weird. If you want to find one that's weird that I saw on the internet, look up, like, rat Hatsune Miku. Have fun with that one. It's awful. I hate it. Yeah, if you want to find an uneasy taxidermy, rat Hatsune Miku. I don't recommend it. You can't unsee it. I just see "oh no" in the chat. You're welcome. Ratsune Miku. I love it. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, no, Aurelia, stop. Stop, Aurelia. No. Also, the first taxidermied lion is hilarious. That's funny. Well, I didn't look it up. It, like, appeared. I think actually a friend sent it to me. I was given cursed knowledge, and it is my job to pass it on to you. What can I say except you're welcome? I was watching a stream. Yes, it's sold out. Oh gosh. Oh, that's even worse. That's worse. It's bad that Ratsune Miku exists. It's worse that it's sold out. Ooh. Are serval skulls taxidermy? No. I think the taxidermy means like you are keeping the skin and like the fur and all of those other details. I don't think the skulls themselves are. Is it? Huh. I don't, hang on. No. The art taxidermy definition on the Google, the art of preparing, stuffing, and mounting the skins of animals with lifelike effect. No. That is not the same thing for keeping a servoskull. Servoskull, you are removing the skin, you are bleaching the bone, you are like drying the whole thing out. Taxidermy is about preserving the skin, fur, and eyes to make it look lifelike. It could be a form of it, but I don't know. I have seen the line. I have seen it. I haven't looked at it recently, but it's really derpy and funny. Oh gosh. Did I just get sent? I can't see that. That's tiny. Cool. Anyways, is the Emperor taxidermy? No, he's still alive. Barely though. Okay, well, let's continue. Let's stop talking about taxidermies. What is this? What is this? Okay. Now we have Sanguinius! For this, we will be this. Sanguinius! Your boy Sanguinius. Compassionate, gentle, and optimistic. Very much your sunshine and rainbows type girl. So blonde, yes. I am very blonde, thank you very much. These, okay, look. These are generalizations. I cannot capture every detail. No bias, there's definitely no bias. Okay. Activities. These all kind of like fall in like the same vein. Date options. You can't. He's married. Back off. No, I didn't put that down. Which you can't. I mean, yes, that is true. You can't date Sanguinius. He's mine. He is married. But this is for someone who is like Sanguinius. So one thing that I've seen that's been like trending on the internet is doing at-home portraits. So you get little tiny canvases and you paint each other and you just paint each other. And I think that's like really cute. So it's like you draw her and then she draws you. Very simple. You can relax. I'm gonna turn back to this now. Nothing creepy about that. It's not creepy. Like you guys tell each other and it's like you just draw each other. Have you not? It's a trend. I promise it's a trend and it's actually not that weird. No, get bonked. Not like that. Guys. No. Okay? No, just no. You know what you did. Holy cow. Okay. Those are inside thoughts, people. Inside thoughts. You do not say those out loud. Good heavens. Good heavens, everyone. Anyways. Okay, then. Let's continue. Alrighty. No, I'm just talking about regular, like, small face portraits. You could also go to a pottery painting place. They have a lot of, like, little figurines that you can paint. Or, like, you can do, like, mugs or plates. And, like, you can do your own designs. I've seen some really cool ones that, people have done. I am not much of an artist myself. I'm not much of a, like, drawing sort of artist. But, you know. Some people are really good at it, and it could be fun. Methinks the vampire romance cliche is still going strong. I mean, maybe a little. Maybe a little. Thank you for the super chat. So, you could do that together. Also, one of the ones I've seen, I've never done one of these, is the wine and paint night. Usually it's like hosted at a place where you either bring your own, like, it's like bring your own beverage, or sometimes it's at like a bar and they provide the alcohol, but there'll be someone there that like teaches you how to paint. Maybe it's a setting or it's like flowers, it's a bunch of different things like that. So that is something that you could do together, because I kind of leaned on the fact that Sanguinius, and kind of similar to Fulgrim, they are very kind of like artistic individuals. So they're very creative and they like to make things. So I focused on Fulgrim being the more like kind of like classy and flashy Primarch, and Sanguinius being the more like artistic one between the two, even though they both have those traits. As for gifts, may I take some of my water? Now, gifts. A fluffy blanket. What I wouldn't give what I wouldn't give for a pillow made of Sanguinius's feathers, but a fluffy blanket will just have to do. A fluffy blanket will just have to do. Oh, skydiving would be fun. I meant artistic in the sense I'm actually talking about being like creative. I wasn't trying to sneak something in there. I was saying legitimately as in someone who does the art. So, fluffy blanket, a photo locket, because it's like a nice little reminder. And this is where, like, maybe don't put your photo in there, but maybe put something in, like, it's a picture of her pets or her family, something that, like, she can, like, treasure, because I think that would be really, really cute. I got a locket from my family, like, a long time ago. I think I was, like, 7? I think I was, like, 7. And it's a little gold locket, and I open it up, and my parents put a little picture of my family inside, and it is so small. I should pull it out. I haven't looked at it recently, but as a little kid, I loved that locket. And there's just like something about it. It's just really, really sweet. So yeah, I like mine. Mine was a heart-shaped one. Maybe don't do one that's heart-shaped. If you do like a regular one, it'd be nice. And then the last one is supplies for a hobby she has. I put it as like the most expensive one because it's hard to know what supplies someone may need if they want really nice paintbrushes that are made of horsehair. Are they made of horsehair? I don't know. That's the thing. There's so many different hobbies. Like something like really nice paintbrushes, or if there is this program she really wants to use, if she does like Photoshop, you're like, hey babe, here's like a Photoshop subscription for a year. You can do a bunch of different things that you can encourage her to continue to be creative and to explore her hobby further. OMG, a wine and paint night would be so cute, right? Right? Be so cute. So yeah, it'd most likely be the most expensive one, so I kind of left it open-ended. But, like, if you think about what she might do creatively, maybe she's a scrapbooking girly. Maybe she likes to 3D print things. Look into it and see what she needs. Sometimes, I will say, you may not be able to make it a surprise, as I do have some creative hobbies, and my mom has asked me in the past, like, hey, do you want anything for your hobby? And I'll tell her like, oh yeah, I want this. So it can't really be a surprise because she doesn't know all of the details. So you might need to ask her what would help her out the most. Because my mom has gotten me things that I was like, oh, well, I'm not really gonna use that because like I don't like it or it just doesn't work. Surprises are overrated. I don't agree with that. In this case, you don't really want to surprise them. But you want to show them that you're like thinking about them. So I would say surprises are really, really good. I love surprising people with gifts, but it's hard to do that when it comes to like hobby supplies. Barris Manis. Oh wait, oh. Bloodgrave, thank you so much for the super chat. Painting Warhammer minis and models. See, you can do that together too. That would also be a good activity and or gift that you could give each other. So, Ferris Manus, inventive, driven, and stern. Gym girl is next. I didn't make it, I didn't think about Ferris as like the gym girl. Also, if you guys hadn't noticed, I've been using the same artist for all of these pictures. I love Genius. I love her Primarch art. This is the only one she has of Ferris Manus. And I was like, oh, almost all of them have, like, if we go back, have like Primarch portraits that look cool like this, but she hasn't made a Ferris Manus one yet. So this is the only one I had, but I wanted to keep with the theme because I really like the theme. Why is he so hot? I don't know. I don't look at him like that. I don't look at him like that. Activities. Yeah, I had a hard time with this one too. He's got like the engineer vibes and I'm like, I don't know what to do for you. So if you guys got together and like brainstorm different ideas on how to improve like the apartment or house or wherever, like just getting together doing some good old-fashioned like problem solving. I also thought would be fun is like a sword or like knife forging class, because he does a lot of weapons. Vulcan does that too, but I thought this would be like a good one, that like an activity you could like do together, because like that would be awesome. I think you have to start off like low level, because I've looked into doing those. I've looked into doing like a forging class, so I think you have to start small with like a knife. So ALJ, thank you for the super chat. I'd feel so safe in a muscular woman's arms. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? So those are the two ideas that I had. Yeah, you could go to a car show. That would be a really good idea. Car show or a museum. Great idea. That's a fantastic idea. Or you can build your computers if you have the budget. Yeah, that's kind of the key part. You have the budget for that. A portable screwdriver kit. I got one as like, I found it very useful. I got like a little miniature screwdriver kit from, I think it was my grandma. And I keep it in my car, like in case I need it. And it's actually come quite in handy when someone's like, oh my gosh, this thing broke. And I'm like, I have a screwdriver, I can fix that. It's awesome when I can flex like that. I hardly ever use it, but I do find it useful. Get like a cool utility knife. I'm not saying get a like a Swiss Army knife, but if you got some sort of like knife that you can use for like any like workshop materials, just something that they can have in their pocket and use whenever. And then the last one, you could get a really big and useful tool. And you're saying, Aurelia, that's vague. Aurelia, that's really, really vague. Why would you say that? Because I have a hobby that requires me to tighten. That really requires me to tighten down like a component. And I usually, in the past, I just steal my dad's crescent wrench. And I just steal it. So my dad gave me a really big one. I have this really big one now because he was tired of me taking his. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Just sometimes just extra stuff like that is good. Anyways, I wish I could have come up with more for this, but just wasn't as like, the ideas weren't flowing as much as I would have liked them to, if we're being perfectly honest. Angron. Resilient, courageous, and direct. Now, our poor Angron, he has suffered a lot. Activities. A pillow fight. With snacks. Snacks are a requirement. Feed your girl. Nothing says I love you more than feeding them. That's not true, but feeding them helps. Feeding them helps. So, pillow fight. The rage room. Someone already put this up there. There are rooms that you can book where you can just smash a bunch of different items. Sometimes they have TVs, sometimes they have plates. It's kind of expensive. I actually looked into it. I'm like, oh, that's so expensive. Where you can just smash a bunch of stuff. Sounds very, very fun. So, and then the last one is you can attend a boxing match together if she's that kind of girl and she likes to see them fight. So, those are the activities. As for the gifts, my recommendation is a stress ball. What I really mean by that is give her a very squeezable, squishable plushie, probably of like a favorite character or like an animal that she likes. Because like, what's not to love about that? What's not to love about having something to like snuggle with and when you're mad just to give it a good old squeeze? So, yeah. You could get like a fidget device that's got like that can be like really calming and soothing. There's like a ton of different ones out there. I don't have really any, but there's a lot of really, really cool ones. Jellycat, yes, Jellycat is a great recommendation. Very calming, very soothing. But Aurelia, what if I'm the stress ball? I would recommend getting one so that maybe you're not getting squeezed so much. Oh yeah, a gym date might also be really good. But if for Valentine's Day, you kind of want to do something a little different. I don't know. I don't think it's like my idea when someone's like, hey, for Valentine's Day, do you want to go to the gym? I'm kind of like, what are you saying? Are you trying to say something? And the last one, weighted blanket. A nice weighted blanket. I have one. I should pull it out of my closet. Get a nice weighted blanket. A weighted, oh, you don't know what a weighted blanket is. So it's a blanket. It looks almost like a quilt. But inside it, there's like little like balls that will be like a certain like, there's like little balls in it and it's evenly distributed across the blanket. So that when you put it on top of yourself, it like puts a small like, puts a little bit of pressure on you. It's really relaxing. Ooh. Ow. So they're nice. Amen for weighted blankets. They're really good. They're really good. I sleep like a rock with those. Robute Gilliman. Organized, thoughtful, and analytical. So I kind of went kind of basic with Robute as just kind of like a general idea. If you don't have any ideas and nothing seems to be working, you can always fall back on these baseline concepts. There may be better ones that fit Gilliman, but this is just kind of what I put together. No, I didn't do like taxes. I just did kind of like standard date ideas that might be interesting. Activities. We have just a walk at a romantic location. I can't presume to know all of the scenic locations that all of you have. Maybe it's a small hike through the woods that leads to a really nice view on a hill. Maybe it's some mountains. Maybe it's on the beach. Maybe it's a bunch of different things. There's a lot of possibilities. Yes, the student council president girl is basically what Robute is. You could do a very simple coffee shop. I recommend if you do the coffee shop, remember, you should remember their order so you can order it in advance. Get a little snack with it. You're like, hey, let's go have dinner and then go to a dessert place. That would be really nice too. Mini golf. I love mini golf personally. And mini golf is just a very safe one where you can do an activity together. I'm sure Like, sometimes you can find indoor ones. I don't know. Yeah, if it's February, there might be indoor ones. It just depends on where you live. Now, gift ideas, again, I kept it pretty simple, just kind of the standard stuff. Write a meaningful note. For someone like Rabute Gilliman, who has to deal with a lot, if we're going off of the class president type girl, there's a chance that she does a lot of work and doesn't get a lot of appreciation for it. So writing something like really meaningful, and this goes for like most of the Primarchs anyways, but if you take your time to write something meaningful and you compliment her, say, hey, I recognize everything you've done, that says a lot. On top of that, you could give her your sweatshirt. I don't know about you, but I like stealing sweatshirts. If I get the opportunity, the sweatshirt is gone. It is my sweatshirt now. It is our sweatshirt. And then a last one, if she is a very, very hard worker, do something like a spa day, or give her like a day off where you're like, hey, you know what? Let me take care of dinner, or let me pamper you. A partner owns no clothes. They are all mine. Yes, well said, Froggy. Well said. Do not give them your favorite, though. If something goes wrong, you will not get that back. That is fair. That is fair. Oh, yes, doing, a corn maze or a petting zoo activity would be fun as well. That's a great idea. Or a strategy game night. See, great ideas. Yeah, I just kept this one as, like, very basic, like, standard ideas that you could use on, like, most girls. Most girls would be like, okay, I'll go to get coffee with you. Okay, let's do mini golf. Those are kind of just like the standard ones that are easy to say yes to. Doesn't mean you will get a yes. It is just easier to say yes to those. Mortarian. Resilient, tenacious, and self-reliant. I had a hard time with this one. I haven't read any Mortarian books, so this probably didn't help me out a lot. Activities. Walking through a garden or the greenhouse. Okay, we're assuming this girl is decently well-groomed. We are assuming she is well-groomed. I'm not gonna be like, get a candle, or I'm not gonna be weird like that, like, or take a shower. Like, that's, no. Like, I'm not gonna be, like, that's kind of cruel. That's kind of cruel. That's a conversation you should have, like, privately. That's a conversation you should have privately, and not, hey babe, I think you smell, so this is what I got you for Valentine's Day. No, don't do that. You will not have a girlfriend after that, even if you are right. Even if you are right, that is not the way to go about it. So, walking through a garden or greenhouse would be nice. And another idea I came up with is like a science center or a biology exhibit. Those can be really cool too, and you can talk about a bunch of different stuff. Human anatomy, there's stuff that's really cool there too that you guys can explore together. Never mind, that's where the perfume comes in. Thank you, ALJ, for the super chat. Yes, but we're being polite. We're being polite. I'm assuming these girls are decently groomed. That's the assumption. I didn't list that going in, but that is the assumption we have. A new greenhouse for growing toxic plants as a gift. I don't have that as a gift, but you know what I do have? I have cute planters and pots. I know some people that are really into plants. And, like, they love getting those cute little pots and the hanging planters, a bunch of different things. And the tabletop terrarium. I thought about that as well. Getting a little enclosed terrarium, that would be, like, really, really cute. I think. So, tabletop terrarium, the last one. Another expensive one, but if you can get revenge against your dad for the wrongdoings, I mean, I think she would love you for life. However, I recommend letting her get the revenge. You just help her get to that point because she might be a little touchy if you do it completely. So, you know, you gotta share that. You gotta share that one there. It's funnier if we're not polite. Jonah? Jonah. I hope that's joke. Because if you aren't polite, you're not gonna keep a girl for very long. I'm just letting you know. Froggy? Well, this is gonna be interesting. Congratulations, that's staying on my pinned board now. Froggy, that is cursed. That is so cursed. I didn't need to know that. Enjoy my pinned comment, Froggy. Oh my gosh. In case any of you didn't see it on the, on the Twitch side, Froggy said, I low-key like Mortarion. In the daddy way. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Am I wrong? Honestly, I don't agree, but I've not read the Mortarion book. Can you send that to me? Send me whatever book you read that made you feel that way about Mortarion. I can't say I feel that way. That's just me. That is just me. I mean, girl, I feel like, I feel like we need to call the Inquisition on this one. This is bad. I'll send you the file. Okay, thank you. I didn't ask for a saucy book. I just asked why she thought Mortarion. Like, send me the book that, like, changed her mind. We're gonna talk about it then. I'm not asking for saucy books. I don't want to read saucy books. What the heck? What the heck? Well, the Inquisition is going to review this material, and we will get back to you on this, on whether or not Mortarion is daddy material. This... Is that your favorite Primarch? Froggy, is Mortarion your favorite Primarch? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was not expecting this. Ooh. Not expecting that. At the moment, yes. Holy cow. Okay. Oh. Matara as competition? Does Matara like... Wait a sec. Does Matara like... Does Matara like Mortarion too? What? I didn't know that. Okay. That's... Am I missing something that people are down bad for Mortarion? Okay, I guess I need to figure out what's going on here. The fact that it's more than one person liking Mortarion, I'm like, She likes the 40k model. Well, okay, the model is very good. The 40k model, very good. Huh. Alright. I will investigate this. I will investigate this. I've been looking for another book to read. I have a list from Remlays, but, I'm curious. Huh. Alrighty. Well. Now, we'll move on to the next one. Magnus the Red. He is bookish, inquisitive, and curious. Yes, he is a nerd. He is a nerd, but that's okay. We are all nerds here. Activities to do with Magnus. And these are like just just date activities. You could go to book cafes. They've been becoming more popular as of late. So going to a cafe that's like all book themed and you can read together, that's really sweet. You can explore aesthetic libraries. I went to a place one time. It was like it was a restaurant, but it was like inside a library. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. Why did I choose that picture? Because there's not... Look, I could have chose a worse picture of Magnus. I like this chick's art, but she didn't have a picture of Magnus, like, in his armor. This was one option. There was also one where you could, like, see part of his upper leg. So I was not interested in doing that one. This is the best one I could find from this particular artist. Because it's really good art. Oh no, I forgot to finish this sentence. Oops. Ignore that. As for the gifts, get them a booklight. Get them a booklight. Because I know I like to read, and getting a booklight is very, very useful. Bookshelf decoration. So one of the things that I got for a friend recently, and I don't know if you've seen them, they're little like wooden kits that you put together, and it's almost, they can be different things. So one is like a greenhouse, one looks like Diagon Alley from Harry Potter. And it's like a cute little miniature that you can put on your bookshelf. They're really, really cute. I want to get one for myself because I like the books. I think it would be very cute. I know I would like it, so I'm a little biased. I don't know much about Magnus, but I would say all the book stuff is more Morty. Oh, that's good to know. Good to know. Also, last idea, special edition book. If there's a book that she's like, man, I really want this really cool copy that's like signed by the author and it's a cool color, get her that. She would like that too. Or like a cute bookmark. Yes, a bookmark would be really nice too. Take Magnus to a bonfire? That's horrible. That's horrible. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's awful. Horus Lupercal. Charming, ambitious, and intuitive. Now, activities. Play intellectual or strategic games. So kind of like what some recommendations were for Rebute Gilliman. That's a good idea. What is this? Well, my name is Aurelia. I'm a Warhammer Vtuber, and I'm helping chat get ideas for Valentine's Day because it's less than a month away. So I've categorized different date ideas based on each of the 18 Primarchs. So I hope you enjoy. We've already gone through most of the Primarchs, and I thought this would just be an interesting thing to help you come up with ideas so you are prepared when the day comes. So start planning now and start booking things now. Another thing you can do with Horus is attend open debates for intrigue and conversation. He's a very well-spoken, people who are similar to Horus are usually well-spoken individuals. So one thing, you can do that and have just a fun conversation. The last thing that is like very like fancy and like what's kind of like show-offy to someone like Horus is having dinner in like a really fancy location, something like a penthouse restaurant or like a restaurant that's like at the top of a building. Something cool like that would be really, really awesome. General girl boss. Yeah, that is kind of what a girl who is like Horus Lupercal, she would be girl bossing pretty hard. Gifts. I didn't have anything that was like too terribly exciting. A custom item that recognizes their achievements. So this could be a plaque, this could be a medal, it could be a bunch of different things that shows like, hey, I see everything you've done and I recognize it, and I want to celebrate you for being so cool. Because Horus got to deal with a lot when it came to being War Master, and it was a lot of pressure. He did get recognized for some things, but he also just had to deal with a lot, and taking the time to celebrate that, we're really good. Get a metal plaque that says you the best? Yes. Yes. The last one, high-end like jewelry pieces, because that kind of shows like status and like how cool someone is, especially someone who is as charismatic as Horus Lupercal. Having like a fancier piece of jewelry or purse or something like that is like, oh, it's kind of show off. He's like, oh, look how cool I am. It adds to their charisma in some ways. If you ever the option to rename one of your armies, you can't go wrong. That would be funny too. That would be funny too. Now, so Horus Lupercal. Lorgar. Persuasive, elegant, and thoughtful. I had a really hard time with this one. Yeah, this one was tough. This one was tough. I was like, I don't really like Lorgar. What would I get a girl version of Lorgar? And the answer is, oh, gosh, you'll see. Activities that you can do with Lorgar. A wig, oh my gosh. Quiet time in a relaxing garden. Something like a meditation, something to that extent. You want to get him therapy? Oh gosh. I mean, he does need therapy. But look, we're looking, I'm not saying the girl you're dating is Lorgar. I'm saying that someone who is eloquent, persuasive, and thoughtful might like some of these things. I'm not necessarily saying they're like really religious. I was just trying to do my best here, trying to find something interesting. So quiet time in a relaxing garden. You can go to like museums that focus on like religion and like different cultures. And you can attend like some keynote like philosophy lectures, because Lorgar was a very philosophical kind of dude. We didn't really get to see too much of it, but he was, to an extent. Gifts. A calligraphy set. Ah. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I love this idea. I thought it was cool. I would love to learn how to write with calligraphy. Be really, really nice. But I don't know how to do that currently. But it's fine. Handmade carvings. So something that's like handmade, that's got like, some people really like the symbols and the iconography as like kind of decorations in their house. Maybe your girl would like that. And in this case, I kind of did lean more on like the religious side, is like rare editions of like spiritual texts. Man, can't say that word quite right. Get her a self-help book? No, don't be mean like that. Don't get someone that for Valentine's Day. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's a bad, bad call. Don't do that. Oh gosh, that's bad. Vulcan. Creative, generous, and compassionate. Activities. A crafting day. Just get together and decide what you want to build. Get a bunch of little things and like, hey, let's make decorations for the apartment or the house, or like something to like remember me by. Something cute like that. Goat yoga. Do some goat yoga. I've never done goat yoga or anything similar. But honestly, it looks like fun, and I think Vulcan would be all for something like goat yoga. You guys not know what goat yoga is? Okay. Goat yoga is when you do yoga, but they release like baby goats, and they'll like climb over you while you're doing the yoga. It's really funny. Look up videos of it. There's also, I think people also do like cat yoga or puppy yoga. Basically, it's yoga with distractions. It's pretty cute. And the last one is a foraging class. Now I said foraging earlier for Ferrous Mana, so that was kind of like for like swords and knives, but what I am recommending is maybe doing something else. Like you could do jewelry, you can do a bunch of different things. It's a lot of fun doing something like that. Gifts that you can get. A handmade gift. Someone like Vulcan who does a lot of like crafting would really appreciate the gesture of making something for them, because you are taking your time and attention to make something that they would care about. Even if you're like, man, I'm not really good at this. I really just I'm not really good at this. I just want to be better at this. Like, hey, it's really the thought that counts. Oh, wrong button. Another option is a Snuggie or a very warm blanket to cuddle with. That would be really, really nice. Just kind of like a relaxing thing. And the last one, a candle warmer. So candles last a lot longer if you put them on a candle warmer, which I didn't know that. So I recently got one and I love it. So I recommend a candle warmer because those are great. Corvus Corax. Introspective, melancholic, and he's a poetic kind of dude. Ooh. Now, activities. You could go to a open mic night or like a poetry night where you can do some poetry readings. That would be really nice. Generally, those are free or there's like a low admission fee. Sometimes they're at bars, so you might have to get a drink or something, but there's that as an option. I don't know why I put this down, but I thought it was funny that Corax might be interested in going to like a cat cafe. I had to put it somewhere, and I thought about putting it under Magnus, but I felt like Corax just fit it for some reason. I was like, the cat cafe sounds kind of funny. Who like fits the bill? And I just picked Corax because I thought it was good. Corvus would ask you out, nevermore. And then the last one is, it's funny that we talked about this earlier, is that we would design temporary tattoos. I found that there are like tattoo pens you can get, and not like, they're like temporary tattoo pens, and you can like draw tattoos on yourself if you are of the artistic kind, or like, so you could do it that way, or you can go on the internet and design your tattoos there, and they'll ship you like the temporary tattoos that you use like water to put them on. Yeah, or do something like a henna tattoo. It'd be really, really neat, huh? They last like 2 weeks, yeah, so you don't have to go crazy. You could just do like a temporary one. See, if you get a temporary tattoo, maybe then you can put their name on it, but I still wouldn't recommend it. Draw orc tattoos. Oh, that would be awesome. Now, for the gifts. Oversized hoodie. A big oversized hoodie is perfect for a girl like Corax. Nice and snuggly, and especially if it's like a dark colored one. Perfect. Book of poetry, if they're into that sort of thing. A poetry book would be really nice. And the last one, if this person is into journaling or writing poetry, just anything in general, a stationery set for any writing or creative endeavors. That includes like a journal, if you think they would like that as well. I know I didn't say a journal because I know some writers have like a ton of journals, but they never write in them because they look too pretty. So maybe just getting like a stationery set or a nice set of pens that you know they like would be something that they would enjoy. Or a Shakespeare book, that would be nice too. Very kind of like a literary kind of girl. The last one is Alfarius, mysterious, secretive, and clever. Activities that you can do. a scavenger hunt. Now, you don't have to do like just a scavenger hunt. That could be the way that they find that the gift you got them. So give a bunch of clues like, hey, have something that you can go across town or in a house or a park where they find all of these clues so that they can get their gift. Laser tag. Someone mentioned laser tag at the beginning of the stream for another Primarch, and honestly, I felt like laser tag is more like an Alfarius kind of vibe. You're in the dark, you can't really see anything, so you kind of have to sneak around with your light up vest and like get people from behind. So I thought that was good. I thought that was good. Now, for gifts, I had to do something that was sneaky. A ghillie suit. So your girl can be camouflaged whenever she needs that camouflage. I thought it was really, really funny. It's a little silly, but, you know, it fits with the hiding and sneaking around sort of theme. And then the last one that I have is noise-canceling headphones. Alfarius is a master of espionage, but I also imagine part of a VPN. A VPN is a great answer, too. I imagine part of Alfarius being very espionage and secretive is that he's very introverted. And I imagine if you have as many brothers as he does, he'd have noise-canceling headphones. You would need that just to tune everyone out. Oh my gosh, he's so silly. So those are the ideas I had for the Primarchs. However, chat, I'm gonna take a little break really fast. We are not done. I understand that in order to truly love someone, it is not just about the date you go on or a gift you get them. This is what I've learned from my father, and I honestly think it's important that I talk about this. What is most important about being with a person? You need to understand how the other person wants to be loved. And this is a very, very tricky thing to do. Because typically, this is a very deep down desire that a person has. And it's not always very, very obvious. Typically, it comes from how they were raised. And everyone has this to some extent. We're gonna snooze this. So it's deep, deep down. Oh, I need to do this. There we go. Also, figuring out how the other person wants to be loved takes time. You really need to know a person. So don't beat yourself up if it takes time for you to realize how a person really wants to feel loved and appreciated. So it takes time to see it. However, when you do see it, I plead and beg, I implore you. Odds are when you find it, it will touch something very deep and personal within them. You need to be very gentle about how you bring this sort of thing up, because sometimes it takes time for them to realize how they feel that love. I will provide a small example. It'll be something about myself. So, I absolutely love and adore my dad. Loved my dad, looked up to him so much as a kid, and I still look up to him now as an adult. But one of the things that I noticed, well, not I noticed, other people noticed, like my friends, like Kyra, for example, would notice, is that I tied a lot of like who I was as a person into what my dad thought of me, or how I thought my dad would react, or like what I would do. But I didn't realize that for a long time. Like, I knew I liked my dad and I knew I cared about what he thought, but I didn't realize like how much of a hold it had on me. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to care about what your dad thinks. Like, it's genuinely, it can be a good thing. But it took a lot of time for me to figure that out, and a lot of prodding from Kyra to be like, hey girl, maybe you should really look at this. So all I'm saying with this is, it was a very sensitive subject when it got brought up, and this was a while ago now, so I'm fine now, but in the moment it was kind of like a huge deal. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is like why I've been behaving this way. So what I have done, and we're gonna do this in a minute, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but what I have done is I have taken each of the Primarchs and I have done my best to break down how I think, and I know I'm making a huge assumption by saying this, how I think they would want to be loved. Now, I cover this in this next set of slides. Full disclosure, I've not read all of the Primarch novels that have ever existed. I've read a decent amount, but I don't know everything about all the Primarchs. I am definitely more passionate about some of them over the others, like Sanguinius. I like Sanguinius and I like Fulgrim. I think I have a decent handle on their characters. But there's others like Mortarion, for example. I don't know much about him. I don't know a lot about his internal processes, so I make a lot of assumptions here, but I am in no way saying I am 100% correct. I'm actually interested in having a fun conversation to see what you guys think, how how these characters would want to be loved, and like what they desire most in a relationship. And I thought this would be helpful since we already kind of put these Primarchs into like categories and stereotypes. I thought it would be a good thing to explore and to look into, because I know some of you are dating people that may be similar in some ways. And this won't be a one size fits all sort of scenario, but there may be things that you see in your partner that you're like, oh wow, that's really similar. What might they be feeling? So I am going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to fill up my water bottle because I drank a lot of it. And then I will be back and we will continue this. It'll be a fun conversation. So I will be back in like about 1 minute or so. We'll see. But I thought this would be like a fun thing to go through. So enjoy this art that Jay Flair has made. And I will be back shortly. So, okay, I'll be right back. I have returned. Blame it on Aaron. Thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. Thank you very much. All right, we're gonna unpin Froggy's comment. It was funny though. Unpin. There we go. All right, we'll wait a second for the ad break to end. Got like 2 minutes. Taco levitation. Okay. Full disclosure, she cannot pick up tacos with warp powers. You don't know that. You don't know what I can do. I'm a very talented individual. The pin was very funny, though. I won't lie, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting Mortarion to give off, a daddy energy. Definitely not what I was expecting to hear today. Of all the things, I thought, you know, people really like Magnus. He got that vibe, apparently. But, I love this art. This is like one of my favorite pieces. I had Taco Bell today. It was delicious. I actually got to try their their chicken nugget thingies that they came out with. They're not bad. They're better than like McDonald's chicken nuggets. So they weren't too bad. Mortarion has the most dad bod? No, I would say Lehman Russ does. Or Ferrus Manus. He got that dad bod look. Yeah, Mortarion not so much. At least that's my impression. He gives me more like kind of lean and muscular. Given that I've been considering dating, this has been a good stream to watch. Yay! See, I hope that this has been helpful and that this has been a way for you to brainstorm ideas. You don't have to use these dates for Valentine's Day. You can use them for whatever you want. So feel free, and if I would love to hear it. If any of you use my suggestions or my ideas, like, go for it. If you come back and you have like a successful date with it, please, or even if it didn't work out, tell me about it. I love to hear it. I want to help out, and I just thought this would be a cool stream to talk about. We just make it a little more Warhammer themed, but something that is like useful for everyone, because honestly this helps me too, like coming up with like different ideas for things to do, because like it's not easy when like Valentine's Day is daunting and like oh my gosh, this is such like a huge holiday. At least in the United States, a lot of people are super into it. Me, not so much. But like, it's really intimidating trying to come up with something that's super cool and like will capture the heart of your beloved. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Just find something that they really like, remember the little details, and just show that you're thinking about them. So, I knew someone would say this. I think for the Primarch pictures, you should have used the female Primarch pictures. So yeah, I figured someone would say that, and I thought about it, but here's the thing. As nice as that artwork is, they did a good job. It's just not my thing. I'm into the dudes. I like dudes, not the ladies. So yes, we could have done that, but honestly, I like Genius, I think that's how you say it. I like her art. It's such a lovely style. So I just wanted to do that. Okay, let us get into it. This is my overall take, my personal opinion. This is not fact, and we'll talk about it more, about what each Primarch desires and like how they feel loved in like a relationship. Lionel Johnson. So he was one of the first books I read, and I really liked his character. And his big thing is that he desires respect and trust. He doesn't want to be questioned for his decisions. And he wants people to, he wants to find people that are trustworthy. He dealt with a lot during the Horus Heresy. He got betrayed badly. Like, it was a huge betrayal. So it's really important for him. And you saw this whole crusade he went on against his own sons. Insanely bad. Very, very bad. So he desires respect, and he wants you to be trustworthy. And he feels most loved when you are trustworthy and also rely on his judgment. And I'm not saying like, oh, you have to listen to him all the time and like you have to do everything he says all the time. He's always right. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's something about saying like, hey, I trust you, and like I appreciate what you're doing. So, thoughts on this? Because I mean, I like the lion. And I won't say like this is like how I feel necessarily, because this is all based on events that happen in the Horus Heresy novels and how he is now in 40k. Yeah, he doesn't like being ignored or disrespected. Well, no one really likes being ignored, but he especially doesn't like to be disrespected. Respect and trust seem like baseline prerequisites for a normal relationship. That's true. But it's different, and I tried to make this interesting because that is a baseline thing, and a lot of the things that you'll see pop up is like, oh, people want to be appreciated. But that's just kind of the human experience. There are things that as humans we all want to feel. We want to feel respected. We want to like be appreciated. There's just a certain baseline of things. So things do get repetitive at a certain point, but I hope I can explain it in a way that gives you more context, that it's not just like, oh yeah, well, we obviously all want someone who is trustworthy, but in relationship to what he dealt with his brothers, like he wants someone to be loyal and reliant on, like that he can rely on and he doesn't have to worry. That is just an especially big thing for him, because everyone wants that, but it's like a huge, huge deal. Yes, it is a matter of emphasis. Well said. It is a matter of emphasis. Fulgrim. He desires admiration and appreciation even in his failure. One of the biggest things that I saw personally, at least when I noticed when I read Fulgrim the Palatine Phoenix, which is Fulgrim's first crusade after being discovered by the Emperor, is that he wanted to prove that he wasn't weak, and that even though his son's like gene seed was like cursed and there were so many Emperor's children that were basically thrown away because they were flawed, he wanted to prove that he was better than his brothers. And really what Fulgrim needed, especially like from his dad and his brothers, is that he wants to feel love through recognition of his accomplishments, and when someone actively chooses to love him despite his failures. Because that was a big deal. He felt like he could never make a mistake. And he's like, well, will anyone really love or care about me when I fail? And someone needs to tell him, yeah, I'll still love you despite all of that. I love you on the days you are perfect, and I love you especially on the days when you're not. And it kind of just boils down like everyone wants these things. So, you know, I can relate to Fulgrim in this way where it's like, man, I'm not good enough. I'm not perfect. I don't deserve love. That's not true. You do. You do. I gotta run. Just take some pics for the mini contest. Oh, well, have fun. I will catch you later. Thank you for hopping in on the stream. So, any thoughts on this one? This was my take on Fulgrim. So I know I can relate to Fulgrim in some ways, and I think that's kind of why I like him as a Trader Primarch. It sounds weird. It's like, oh, Aurelia, you like that. You like the kinky stuff. And I'm like, no, it's something about like his fall, and it's like he wanted to be perfect so badly, and he tried so hard that it corrupted him. That he focused so hard on being perfect that he wasn't just content with being. He didn't need to be perfect, he just needed to be good. That was all. They all need hugs, honestly, if we're being like perfectly honest. The kinky stuff is the icing on the cake. You must be new. I'm not that kind of girl. I am not that kind of girl. My preference is pre-heresy Fulgrim, and like right before his fall. I don't really prefer him in his demon form. His fall is just incredibly tragic. It's a cautionary tale, as one may say. Yes, recognition of accomplishments is true, but being honest in what you think of him. Yes, that was actually one of the original notes I put. I didn't want to completely fill out this page because I could write an essay on Fulgrim. And that was actually one of the things I said, like genuine like compliments and like genuine feelings about how you feel about him. So, yeah. Wow, I never thought about that. See, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can notice when you like really dig down into certain characters. So Fulgrim is one that, like, I wouldn't say I know him perfectly, but I understand a lot of who he is. Being allowed to be vulnerable about perceived or real flaws with people is very significant, and it shapes a person to the core. Yeah, and you saw how it shaped Fulgrim. So, like, for example, the thing I said about me thinking about the relationship with my dad that, like, Kyra brought up with me. Like, it was a huge deal, and how she, like, gently brought that up with me was really important, because if she had just come in my face and said, hey, Aurelia, like, I noticed, like, this, and this, and it, like, that hits like a wrecking ball, but it's not the best way to tell someone, like, hey, I think this is a problem, and this is how you should improve. So, yeah. There you go. There's my thoughts on Fulgrim. Yeah, seeing him and not the image he puts out for others to see. Yes, exactly. Perturabo. Man, this guy, my heart goes out to him. I feel so bad for him. Someone just needed to stand up for him, because he was not willing to stand up for himself. We all know he wanted people to understand his position and recognition for his accomplishments, because his brothers got all the accolades. He got shafted. He got the brunt of the work. He got the hard jobs. And it felt like he was constantly outshined by his brothers, and he was sacrificing so much. So much. And he would feel loved when he is validated and praised for the tasks that are often overlooked and overshadowed by his brothers. It's insane. I think the heresy would have looked a lot different if Perturabo hadn't turned to chaos. He wanted that recognition and he never got it. The one dad forgot out in the rain. Yeah. Poor guy. I feel bad for him. In some cases, it's like, man, he is a bit whiny, but man, it was really rough. And Happy New Year. I saw someone say that. Happy New Year to you. So, any other thoughts on Peter Turbo? I know a lot of people like him. So, Perturabo wouldn't let people praise him. When he was praised, he took it as an insult. Yeah, so that's part of it. Let me just say, he is one of the more complicated ones when it comes to, like, people actually giving him, like, the affection and the love that he was, like, looking for. He is a bit complicated. And it would take a lot of time. And I think for all of these, it would take a lot of time. It's no easy task, by any means. So, and it just sucked for him, because he was so intelligent, he could see something and he understood how it worked right away. So we never got to have anything that was, like, exciting. And he got to meet the Emperor, and he loved the Emperor because he didn't understand it immediately. It was a father figure he never had. So it's just, it's so unfortunate and sad. All right, next one. Jagatai Khan. He's actually, I didn't have too many, like, notes on him. He is, like, one of the more well-rounded Primarchs of the bunch. Like, there's only, like, a couple of them that, like, you're like, oh, okay, you've got a pretty decent head on your shoulders. Like, there's not much going on with you. You don't have, like, daddy issues like some of the others do. Like, that's this guy. And I haven't read any of the Khan books, but I want to. But he basically kind of boils down to, he's a very independent dude. He kind of does what he wants. And a lot of his, like, strategy and, like, planning, he's very different from his brothers. So being able to act in a manner that most of his brothers, like, don't expect, is something that I think he would value. Now, if anyone is a huge, like, Khan fan here, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I really don't have much of an idea on what it would take for him to be loved. He seems like pretty stable by himself, so, like, it doesn't seem like he would need much, but sometimes the most quiet and reserved people are the ones that need a lot of love and attention. So, I said he feels loved when he's appreciated for who he is and not what, like, the Emperor or his brothers, like, expect him to be. So yeah, that was my take. Does anyone have any, like, thoughts about the Khan or things that I don't know. I genuinely want to learn more, and it's one of the things I want to, like, get into. He probably just needs people to spend quality time with. Yeah, see, that would be nice too. I'd love to learn his roasting skills. I mean, yeah. Yep. Yep. It's funny, despite how masculine the 40k universe can feel, the Emperor did not recognize the true importance of fatherhood, according to some interpretations. Yeah. He didn't, in some ways. I mean, he did really treat more of his sons as, like, tools. He called them tools, they weren't his sons. Maybe the opposite of his personality, he's so free-spirited that he would really appreciate someone who he can rely and depend on. Oh, that would be good too. Yeah, for someone to love and support him, to be the rock for him. That's a good idea. See, I like that. See, look at that. Us coming together, coming up with a bunch of different ideas. So, those are very good points. I like those points. Leman Russ. Leman Russ is a very interesting kind of guy. He desires brotherhood and companionship, and one of the things that I learned, what was it called? I think the book was called Wolfsbane, or something like that, is that Leman Russ, he has this facade that he is a ruthless executioner for the Emperor. But he actually is, like, he can be very tactical, and he's very smart. But a lot of people just kind of see him as, like, wild, unrestrained, animal. They don't really see him, like, beyond him just being an axe. And being something that just destroys the Emperor's enemies. So he feels love when there is true loyalty and faithfulness displayed. And that people recognize that he's more than a tool to be wielded, but a person, like a person underneath the wildness. That there's someone who's civilized, yes. Leman is a civilized man playing at being a savage, and he is very good at it. One of the things that I liked is that Leman would, I forget who the point of view was from, but Leman would act in a way that was expected of him, that he'd be more feral, but the person commented that there was intelligence, like, behind his eyes, that he would do something with intention to get the result he was looking for. Russ needs someone to pull him down from his more wild side. When he runs off, he needs someone to stop him. He is wild. He is wild, but it is actually more tempered than a lot of people think it is. So, any thoughts on Leman Russ and how... on how he is? I did like that book that I read. It was really cool, because he was really grappling. He had the Emperor's spirit, and he was really grappling with the difficulty of, hey, like, how am I supposed to be this executioner for my father? That's not really who I am. Loyalty and faithfulness, and a willingness to be harsh and truthful with him, even when he may not like it. Yeah. That too. That's being loyal to him as a person, not allowing the wild side to scare you away. I agree. That's a really good point. I like that. I like that. A drinking session, though, I think he'd like that too. Definitely drinking. Drinking would be huge for him. Rogaldorn. Oh, this one I put in. He is loyal. Stoic, honest, and loyal. Rogaldorn, and I noticed this a lot in The End and the Death. I only read one Dorn Primarch novel, and I want to read another one. The other one was too short. It was called, like, The Praetorian. It was really short. I need a different one to get a better take on his personality. Dorn, of course, likes loyalty, but he also wants freedom from his duty. Because, as we saw in The End and the Death, there were many times where Dorn wanted to go out there, and he's like, I'm tired of defending. I want to go out and attack. I want the opportunity to no longer be responsible, and I just want to be free. I just want to be free. And we kind of saw that when Khorne was tempting Dorn to fall to chaos. He's like, I know you want to fight. You've been wanting to fight for such a long time. Let me give that to you. But he was steadfast, and he's like, I'm not going to do that, because he's such a responsible guy. So he feels loved when he is able to act beyond his duties while being able to protect the people that he loves. So that was my impression. Like I said, I want to read another Rogaldorn book, because I think there's more to it that I'm not seeing, because he had a pretty good, like, home life. You don't really hear too much about his past, other than that he carries his grandfather's, like, cape around. So I don't know too much about, like, how he would want to be, like, loved. I don't know. So you say it's not that he wants to be free from duty, he wants to fight. Well, technically in that case, he had to stick with his duty. Technically, the fighting would break that. I don't necessarily think Dorn wants to fight all the time. He's not that kind of guy. He's not like, you know what, I'm itching to get into a fight the way Leman Russ would, or Angron would. It's not the same in that way. He has that desire, but it's more tempered. I don't think... In that case, it was just my thought that he wants more of a, hey, I want to be freed from this burden that I have. And he wanted to bring beauty into the world. Yeah, that too. So we can modify it to freedom from, like, his duty of bringing about war and bringing about, like, beauty. He is adorable. He went to fight Alfaris. Yeah, but that doesn't indicate that that's who he is deep down. He was angry and wanted revenge. And at that point, you don't have a Terra you really need to protect anymore. So, Rogaldorn. Conrad Kurz. This guy. We know Conrad Kurz is very, 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 very messed up. He suffered a lot from his visions and his terrible upbringing. Very bad upbringing. Hold up, there are Warhammer Vtubers out here. My mind is blown. I love the internet. Welcome. Hello, my name is Aurelia. I'm a Warhammer Vtuber. I'm Custodes themed, but not, well, let's just say my lore is different from what GW put together. We're not going to get into it, but I love to talk Warhammer stuff. I do Warhammer content and variety streaming. And also my friend Froggy, who you can see in the chat, is also a Warhammer streamer. She does a lot of painting. Very good painting. Much better than my painting, let me just say. A lot of people do say that for their first time chats. They're like, huh? A Warhammer streamer? Yep, that's me. That's me. So, Conrad Kurz, as I was saying, you know, has dealt with, that's so cursed. Kurz wants a leatherworker artist as a girlfriend. That's awful. That's disgusting. Ew. Ew. Ew, that's so nasty. Blech. Okay. Kurz needs empathy. Your boy needs empathy here, and he never really got any. And I think deep down he wanted people to validate, like, look, bro, your compliances are very gruesome, but you get the job done. I could fix Conrad, he's my little emo boy. I've said it before, I'll say it again, you can't fix that. You can't, you just cannot. You can't fix that. Chat, you cannot fix him. No. No, 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 no. You can't. You're delusional if you think you can fix that. We can and we will. Okay, I will, when I see your skin flying at the top of a flagpole, I will know you failed. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. Froggy, you gotta pick one. Which troubled Primarch do you want? You can't have Conrad and Mortarion. You can't have both. Deal, I'll accept that risk. Okay, well, I will, keep an eye on the flagpole then. Kurz is misunderstood. No, it's totally true. Kurz is misunderstood, but, like, can't fix that. Yee. Oh. Anyways. You want all of them, Froggy? You can't have all of them. I have Sanguinius. You can't have all of them. Okay? Can you leave Sanguinius for me? Thank you for the super chat, ALJ. Anyone who claims they can fix them are already a skin suit. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yep. What have I been missing? A lot. Yay, good. As long as I can have Sanguinius, we aren't gonna fight. We can be friends. We can be friends. Good. So Kurz, he wants people to understand and show empathy, and also kind of to recognize that, you know, he's kind of right when it comes to, like, his sense of justice. The vindication. He feels love when people show empathy for him and understand his methods. Someone said, what I saw it. Where did it go? Where is it? Or is it up here? Dang it, I saw someone's comment and I wanted to read it. Where is it? Oh, feel like he needs people who are genuine around him. He believed people would only comply via fear. Correct. Also correct. I agree. Which, it requires a lot of delusional people to, like, fix that problem. You know, it'll be like the Imperium. We'll just throw people at him until we meet compliance. We may run into the tens of thousands of people before we actually make any progress on changing his heart. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, that's bad. That's so bad. Millions, you're right. Not thousands, millions. Millions, you're correct. Any other thoughts on Conrad Kurz, the misunderstood boyo? He knew he was gonna be killed and he accepted it. Yeah, and he's like, I'm cool with this. Like, what? Why? Why? Needs a leatherworker girlfriend? Yeah. I don't think so. Oh, I 100% know there are some women who would say hear me out on Kurz and Fulgrim. I'm well aware. I am well aware. Alright, next set then. Sanguinius! My favorite, my boy, my man, my husband. Okay, Sanguinius. Desires acceptance for his flaws, that he will be loved despite them. Because Sanguinius puts up... He has this image that he is perfect and a little overrated. A little overrated. Mods, time him out for 1 minute. Please and thank you. Anyways. So, you're gonna get timed out too. Stop. I will time all of you out that say Sanguinius is overrated. Mods, get them. Mods, please. Please, mods. Please? If I time them out, they'll be timed out for like 10 minutes. And I don't want to time them out for 10 minutes. Mods, where'd you go? They disappeared. They were literally right there. They're hiding from me now. Why are they doing this to me? They were just here. I know you're here. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. You are they. The mods are like, I don't know. I'm mod, but not for Aurelia. No, I don't do anything. That's not true. The mods do a lot. No, I told... Well, it's fine then. It's too late. The moment has passed. Bro, they all were like gone at the same time. Anyways, here is the thought about Sanguinius. So, a lot of people say Sanguinius is overrated. Why do they say Sanguinius is overrated? Because they think he is just completely perfect and there's nothing wrong with him. He is the goodest boy ever. Which, to an extent, is true. However, I think some people don't realize, and this is why Sanguinius is one of my favorite Primarchs, is that he does his very best to be perfect, despite all of his flaws. He tries to be the best he can, despite his flaws. And it's very difficult. The self-control he has to have sometimes. And I'm not saying, like, he is perfect because of his imperfections, because he takes the time and he recognizes that he's flawed. He doesn't say, look, I'm good just the way I am. He knows he's flawed and he actually actively tries to improve. And he also tries to improve the lives of his sons. They used to be a degenerate legion and they were just horrible. But he took the time and the effort and he's like, you know what? This is my fault. I'm gonna take ownership for it, and I will make this better for all of us. Because I care about my sons and I care about like how they live their lives. And like it was a struggle reading, like when I read the Sanguinius books, it was like a struggle. He worked very, very hard. And it's just so tragic that at the end when he died, like all of the work he did fell apart. So that's what I like about him. It's because he is imperfect, even though everyone thinks he is. And like, oh man, he's just too perfect. He's just like easy. Like, no, the thing is, like, it was hard. It was hard to be as good as he has been. It was never easy for him. So that is one of the reasons why I adore this man and I adore him as a character. Just, fantastic. So Sanguinius, he always had this deep innate fear, understandably so, because the Emperor basically already took out 2 of his brothers, the 2nd Primarch and the 11th Primarch. Well, one is technically never found, but one of them definitely got wiped off the face of the planet. So Sanguinius had a very, like, rational fear that if the Emperor found out about the gene seed flaw, that he would meet a similar fate. So, honestly, he would want to be loved despite, like, all of these, like, bad things, this dark side of him. The flaws that he tries to hide and he tries to overcome. He wants to be loved despite those. No, I don't think it's because he's saying that, oh, my sons are watching, I need to show them how to behave or they won't last very long. I mean, yes, that's technically like part of it, and that is something like you kind of have to do as a parent, but it is also because he genuinely loves his sons. Because he's not like, I wouldn't say he's like a perfect father, but he's at least a decent one. Yeah, he had that one time where he like hauled off one of his sons. That was pretty bad. But like, I don't know, just, yes. So, that is my tirade about Sanguinius, because a lot of people just assume he's perfect, and that's boring. He's not perfect, and that's what makes him fascinating, because it was very difficult for him to be as good as he is right now. Any thoughts on that? I kind of just went off. It was, thank you for coming to my TED Talk about Sanguinius. Do you have any thoughts about it? Do you have any thoughts? Because, oh. Wouldn't it be weird for you to date a guy with tens of thousands of sons? I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I don't find it too weird. I don't mind being a stepmom. I wouldn't mind that. I would have thoughts, but it would be a timeout again. I'm just messing around. I'm messing around. I say that as like a joke. I say it as a joke. You can have your own opinions about Sanguinius and everything, so it was a joke. Wait, what? What did I say? Did I say something dumb? All I see is like, I couldn't clip, and I'm like, what did I say that I wasn't, that you couldn't clip? Huh? Huh? Yeah, you can disagree. Oh my gosh. If we can't have a fun conversation about Warhammer here, I was messing around because people are like, oh, it's overrated. I'm like, nah. But I also recognize the chatters, so it's easier for me to say that. Jonah, thank you for the super chat. Sanguinius has a red thirst, same as his sons, and he sees the dark future, same as Kurz, but he never becomes him. He is proof of the power of hope. Well said, well said. Oh, I forget I can heart super chats. Oh my goodness, I suck at that. Heart super chats. I forgot I can do that. I forgot that was a thing. Let me, oh, I can't heart all the super chats. Dang it, I'm sad. Alright. The next set. Ferrus Manus, a hard one to do because he's got, like, not a lot of lore about him. Desires respect through strength and loyalty. He really doesn't like the weakness, and you know how the Iron Hands like to augment themselves? He's definitely, they're like, let's be strong in that way. Ignore the photo, ignore the photo. What I said for Ferrus Manus is that he feels love when he is recognized for his loyalty, despite the difficulty of maintaining it. Because there was definitely a lot of stuff he had to, like, deal with. There was a lot of stuff he had to deal with when Fulgrim betrayed him. And I bet you it was difficult at times for him to deal with all of that. But this is, like, a very, very weak one. It's a very weak one. I know the Iron Hands are really into augmentation and he's not, but still, there was kind of an innate, like, hey, you need to be strong. So, Any thoughts about the Ferrus Manus and the Iron Hands? This one was not my best one. I will 100% admit that. He's interesting. I just wish we had like more information about him. Let's see. The Iron Hands misinterpreted Ferris's desire to become stronger and became machine Superman. Yeah. Unfortunate. I remember a problem he had in the beginning was that he thought he had to be more like his brothers rather than who he is. Oh, where was that? What book was that in? I'm curious. I'd like to know more about that. I don't know if this would change after Fulgrim betrayed him, but he respects strength so much that he wouldn't want someone to rely on him all the time and recognize that he can deal with his own issues. Oh, okay. Okay, I can see that. Oh, we have the head on the shoulders jokes. Oh my gosh. You get decapitated one time and everyone keeps making jokes. We'll go to the next one. Angron. Angron, the angry guy. Angron has dealt with a lot. What he wants the most is he desires people to understand what he went through and recognize like the injustice of it all, but also what he really wants is control of his own circumstances. Because he didn't have that option. He was a slave, and he was part of like the gladiator fighting. He basically he had the butcher's nails put in his head where he could only enact extreme violence, forced to do things against his will. And when the Emperor came to finally save him, the Emperor basically said, no, you can't keep your friends. They can just go away. So he never really had control over his life, and he's like, well, now you are in charge of a legion, and this is your job. You have to do this. You like there's no other answer. So yeah. He would feel love when others recognize the injustice of the past and enable him to make his own decisions. He just needs a hug. Honestly, he needs so much help. I feel so bad for him. I agree. Big E really mishandled Angron. Yeah, he messed that one up really bad. He messed that up bad. So, yeah, Angron needs a lot. He needs a lot of love and affection. Angron needs a mom. Yeah, kind of, yeah. And see, you know what I also like? We're gonna go back to Sanguinius. That one time when Angron even thought about, like, Sanguinius, his brother, that, like, he was, like, the feeling of the butcher's nails, like, subsided for just a little bit. That doesn't tell you how cool Sanguinius is. I don't know what does. That just the thought of his brother Sanguinius. And he wasn't in extreme pain from the butcher's nails. The butcher's nails like, oh, that's a pretty chill guy. Pretty chill guy. Overrated, wow. Rabute Gilliman. So this one actually was tricky because I was like, do I go with 30k Gilliman or 40k Gilliman? Because I kind of like, I didn't necessarily do that for the lion. But as of late, Rabute Gilliman has had a lot of stuff on his plate. He has dealt with so much, and part of it is getting appreciation for his efforts and the ability to take a rest. Because he's working non-stop ever since he was returned to 40k. I feel so bad for the dude. Like, he is trying so hard. He is fighting a losing battle. He is Sisyphus, and the Imperium is the rock, and honestly, it is going to be very difficult if he ever is even able to, you know, bring the Imperium back to where it was, which is probably not going to happen. You know, a lot of these Primarchs desire appreciation. Yes. That was one thing I noticed, and I was trying to make it interesting for each one of them, which was hard, let me tell you. But yes. Yeah, very difficult. So, Guilliman feels love when he can take the weight of the world from his shoulders and be praised for his work. One of the quotes being like, he wanted to be a farmer, giving him the ability to pursue his own passions and not have to carry the weight of responsibility would be a huge game changer for him. A massive game changer. Unfortunately, that is just not in the cards for Guilliman. It is going to be helpful now that the Lions return, but it's gonna be a while before they meet each other. Guilliman needs someone like his mom, someone who supports him in his effort, but more importantly, to pull him through the tough choices he always makes. Yes! See, well said. Well said. So yeah. What is this? Hello, hi. We are going through, well, I had a whole stream talking about what sorts of dates and gifts you would do for each Primarch, because Valentine's Day is coming up. I was giving chat a bunch of ideas on what to do for this, for Valentine's Day, and I actually went through and broke it down to, you know, what is most important is recognizing how a person wants to be loved. And so I decided to go through and I gave, at least in my opinion, what I thought each Primarch would desire in a relationship and what would make them feel loved. A little long explanation there, but that's kind of that's the long and short of it. So, we just did Guilliman. Now we're gonna do Mortarion. Froggy, I would start typing now. I want to hear your thoughts on this if you're still here, because I don't know a lot about Mortarion, so I don't really have a good, I don't think the best answer to this. So this is what I said, but Froggy, please correct me, because I'm sure you will have thoughts. Yeah, start typing now, because I'm sure it's gonna be long. Oh yeah, okay, so my understanding of Mortarion is that he had his dad was very bad. His adoptive dad was bad towards him, awful dude. And he was trying to fight his dad at the very end, right as the Emperor came. He was gonna have the final fight with his dad. But the Emperor basically said, okay, let's fight him. Mortarion gets fatally wounded, and then the Emperor steals the kill. And even though the Emperor saved his life, Mortarion is very bitter. He's very, very bitter about this. So I didn't know what to put for him. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I know bad is an understatement. I don't think I can say the actual word of what his adoptive dad did to him. So, like, I don't think I could say that word without getting bonked. So I'm not gonna say it. I know how bad it was. At least I have an idea of how bad it was. So, I said that he desires praise for his resilience and tenacity in the face of trials. Again, it fits in the realm of appreciation. Extreme appreciation. He wants credit where people took it from him. Not even a praise, just a little head pat. See? A lot of people just want appreciation. A lot of people just want appreciation. And what I put down is he feels loved when people praise him for his diligence and perseverance, especially when he was wronged. I don't know if that's accurate. I think Froggy probably has a better handle on this one. But that, like, I don't know. That's my thought. But I do want to read one of his books. I think I only have like a couple Primarchs I haven't read books about. Yeah, trying to give the head pat to this particular art piece, you gotta be careful. It's kind of pokey, stabby. Don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with that. So, I think Frog is typing. I need to know more. His planet was horrific and awful. It was already midway through a rebellion when the Emperor turned up and basically was like, ah, sick, you already started. Let me just get this guy for you. Yeah, but he was like, oh, make you look not so good to your boys. Oh yeah, so he was disrespected because the Emperor just walked in. He was stealing his kill. Because Mortarion was already doing it. Dang. Oof. Oof. Okay. Yeah. So we just wanted the credit where the credit was due. I heard you're dating. Oh. That's, I'm sorry, that's clickbait. It's clickbait. You have to come up with inventive stream titles. And I'd say it's worked. Alrighty, now. Magnus the Red, the nerd. This one, I don't know too much about Magnus, but I felt pretty good about this one. Magnus desires others' genuine interest in his passions and recognize his talents as boons. Because he was kind of treated as like a pariah because of like all the Council of Nicaea, and he wasn't able to use his psychic power, something that like he was very proud of, and a lot of things that he leaned on, and now he was being like villainized for having these talents that none of his brothers really had. It's sad, and a lot of people are just like, ah, Magnus, whatever. But like, he wants people to be genuinely interested in him as a person. He's the only fixable one. I don't care what anyone else says. I think Sanguinius is fixable too, personally. So, Magnus feels love when someone finds him interesting and worthy of their attention. Not to be treated as a pariah for his gifts and talents. Magnus sees someone who could stop him from doing the dumb stuff. Yeah, there's that too, but like also just genuine like care. Yeah, that is true. Someone does need to rein in his ego. Magnus was just doing his best. He made a little oopsie. Now everyone hates him. He's like, oh man. Yeah, it's a big blunder, but yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on Magnus? Magnus needs someone to appreciate him, but to converse with him about knowledge and sorcery. Yeah, see, he'd like that too. Finding like genuine interest and like, hey, tell me about all the things that you've learned. Tell me about like your vast wealth of knowledge. So, the librarian girlfriend. Yeah, he'd love that. Yeah, he and Lorgar did get along really well. That's in like the first Heretic where Magnus and Lorgar talk. They're homies. Horus Lupercal. This guy. This guy has a lot he has to deal with. Hang on, I need to find... Okay, so Horus had to deal with quite a bit. What kind of boiled down for Horus is, in a way, he is, and he sees himself as tragic hero. He was given the task of War Master And he knew he had to fulfill this task, this purpose that was like given to him. But in a way, he resented it immensely. And what he really needed was for someone to come alongside him and say, hey, I love you. Like, even if you were nothing. He takes so much pride in his achievements and what he's done that he worries that he cannot be loved enough. And because of all the stress, the weight of the world on his shoulders, like, how else would you behave? He wants validation for his efforts as War Master, but he needs someone who can share his burden when someone chooses to love him, even if he was nothing. There was something that, let me see if I can find it. Hang on, let me pull it up. I need to find it. I forgot the name of the philosopher. Because it's actually kind of interesting. One second. I should have pulled this up earlier, and I was like thinking about it, and I was like, oh no. Horus needed his own Malcador? Yeah, in a way. Okay. So the philosopher, I've pulled this up because I didn't remember talking about the philosopher Kierkegaard, which talks about this night, and it's called the Night of Infinite Resignation, or the Night of Sacrifice. Basically, it is two different ways that people can view like trials and suffering. So when you're dealing with something that's incredibly difficult, and Horus resembles the Night of Sacrifice because he sees being the War Master as something he was born into, something that he couldn't avoid. Like, even if it could have been one of his brothers, he's still a Primarch and he has to carry immense responsibility. And frankly, he's frustrated because he has to bear this responsibility. He feels like he has to do it alone. And on top of that, because he's doing it alone, he's mad at everyone else because they can't help him in the way that he wants to be helped. He's carrying this burden, and he is resigned because he's lost something. He's lost a part of himself he's never going to be able to get back because the Emperor just dumped this burden on him. Like, what are you gonna do? The Emperor dumps a burden on you, and you just have to take it. You have to accept it. And I think, like, he views himself as a tragic hero in that sense because he has to take it on by himself. And it's kind of interesting because the other side of the coin, look into it. It's really interesting. I'm probably not doing it enough justice. Kierkegaard, I think that's how you say it. The other side is the Night of Joy, which is when dealing with, and this is, we will assume that the Night of Joy and the night of sacrifice are dealing with the same things. That the Night of Joy finds joy despite the circumstances, that there is the possibility for hope and goodness to endure. And in this case, it's quite fascinating. Sanguinius is the other side of that coin, where even though he deals with a lot of problems, and definitely not the same as what Horus had to deal with, because Horus was carrying the burdens of the universe, or the galaxy, really. Sanguinius still had hope for the future. It's not to say that he had his moments where he doubted, or he had moments of despair, but that they really got that foil, that they're the perfect foils of one another. Horus sees despair in his serving, and when he has this burden. Sanguinius sees more joy and hope when facing trials. So, look it up. I don't think I did it I don't think I did it justice. But it's really cool if you look into it. It's a neat little thing. And honestly, I think there were many other things that influenced Horus and his life and why he felt a chaos. It's not just one simple thing, it's a lot of things. But I wouldn't want to go through life, me personally, with having to deal and being resentful. If I have a burden or a task that I need to do, maybe it's not my most favorite task, sure, but don't go about it with resentment. Do it with joy in your heart that you have the opportunity to do something, not because you have to. And I can't say I'm the best at that every time, but I think it really impacted Horus in the long run. So, there we go. All right, we'll go to the next thing. Did anyone have any other thoughts on did anyone have any thoughts on Horus before I go to the next slide? I went off on a whole thing. So, if not, we can just go to the next one. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Horus needs someone who can end Erebus before he becomes a problem? Absolutely. You are correct. You are correct. So someone to remind him that his responsibilities are also a good thing since they give him opportunity to improve the lives of others? Yes. And someone he can share the burdens with. Like, imagine if he and Sanguinius got to share the burden of War Master together. That's much easier. He was, like, his brothers, basically saw him as an equal, but he was technically raised above them. And he felt very much like, I don't have any, like, people aren't respecting me. Even, like, though I've been given this huge burden and no one, like, understands. They're just envious or jealous. Yeah, he had a lot of self-esteem issues and, like, a ton of stress. Yeah, he needs a lot of love. Yeah. Yeah. Lorgar! What does Lorgar need? He needs someone to punch Corpharon in the face and Erebus. To just yeet them out of the system and just to get rid of them. Because, frankly, it's messed up what he had to deal with from those two. The gaslight, gatekeep, girl bossing queens. They're horrible to him. Anyways, Lorgar really desires the mutual connection and interest in his intellectual queries, especially when it comes to, like, his faith. What he really wanted from the Emperor was shared devotion. It's awkward for the Emperor because the Emperor's like, yeah, I'm not a god. I think the Emperor 100% whiffed when he decided to destroy Monarchia. Bad call, my dude. Because all Lorgar wanted was, he just wanted some shared appreciation. And, yeah, not so good for him. So, Lorgar probably feels the most love when he's praised for his devotion. And also when you engage in, like, stimulating conversation with him. He likes to talk philosophy. He likes to talk spiritual things. He really likes to, like, get into the nitty-gritty details about things. But people weren't really interested. Lorgar wants bird repellent. That is, yes. Yep, that is a good point. The bird repellent, though. So yeah. Any thoughts on Lorgar? Ooh, there's more. There's paragraphs. Let's read them. Lorgar needed someone who he could feel free to express his faith, belief, and inner feelings around. Lorgar put on a mask around everyone, even those close to him. He needed someone who he could drop that mask, and needed someone to discuss his beliefs and faith without being threatened or looked down on. Yes! Yes, that's a really good point. But having done a degree in philosophy and having to do with abstract reasoning, I think Lorgar needs someone to remind him of the realities around him that his thoughts are based on, so he doesn't come completely separated from it. Yes, the Emperor may be called a god by technical definition, but doesn't want to be called one. Yeah, so if you have that distinction where it's like, oh, I think he's a god, but if I don't say anything, like, it's different. Lorgar needs to talk about having faith more than worshipping the Emperor. Yeah, that's part of it too. The man emperor of mankind. Yes, that was well said. Well said. Vulcan. Vulcan, like, is one of the others that I said had a pretty level head on his shoulders. He's a really, really chill dude. Level head on his shoulders. He's solid. If there was anything, my estimation was that he desires, like, reciprocation of his, like, feelings and, like his genuine, like, affection for his brothers, and that people praise his, like, protective nature. I don't know how often his brothers did this with him, but if people expressed their true feelings, especially, like, reflected that affection they've received from Vulcan back to him, like, he would love that. He would love that they felt so good about them. So that was my take on Vulcan, because he doesn't have much where I'm like, oh wow, like that's like a huge glaring issue that he has. So yeah, other than the Eldar children, we all know that's bad, but beyond that. Corax. So one of the things that I noticed when I was reading the Corax novel is that Corax felt incredibly guilty for messing with the, hang on one second. Is that he felt bad for what happened with his Legion when he tried to replenish it with, modified gene seed without, like, the Emperor's help. Like, he really needs someone who can tell him, that would, like, be willing to forgive him and help him forgive himself for his mistakes. And he would especially feel love when people understand his thought process but are actively trying to get him out of his depressive mood and, like, tell him that, like, hey, let's make things right. Like, keep going down the path you're going down. Oh, someone said Corvus needs someone not to acknowledge his mistakes, but someone who pulls him out of his depressive episodes by tackling whatever the mistake is. Corvus is the guy who's super talented, but one mistake happens and he shuts down. Yeah. Yeah, so we need someone that says, hey, look at me, breathe, and we'll tackle the problem. Yep, well said. Yeah, he desires forgiveness for his mistakes deep down, and he wants to fix them, so we need someone to help him with that. So, yeah, well said. Does anyone else have any thoughts on Corax? I had that one loaded up in the chamber. I could tell. I was like, man, that was really, 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 really fast. I'm glad we had similar answers. Because I was like, wow. But I just really noticed that when I was reading the Corax novel. He felt so bad about the raptors and his sons that got really messed up because of the bad gene seed. So he needs a sunny, smiley ray of light to pick him up when he falls down. Yeah, that's like so sweet, isn't it? So cute. Okay. Now, are we ready for the last one? The last one is Alfarius. This one was difficult. And I found it incredibly difficult because Alfarius really keeps things close to his chest. You don't really know what the problem is. He's so secretive. It's both. It's both. Because I couldn't really distinguish the two. It's kind of both, because I don't know enough about either one of them. So and please, I want to hear your thoughts, because I don't know if I'm right on this one. I don't think I am. Alfarius and Omegon spend a lot of their time pretending to be other people, or pretending to be someone that they're not. And my guess was that they would desire authenticity and genuine interactions. Like, that he doesn't have to be fake. He doesn't have to pretend. He can be genuine. And he can be himself. Because who is Alfarius down underneath all of that? Who? We don't know. I don't even know if he knows who he really is. Look, it doesn't matter which one we're talking about. It's already complicated enough. I'm not gonna... It'll be whichever one you're thinking of, I'm talking about that one. We're not gonna get into which one is who. Feels love when he can be himself and is not compelled to mimic the behaviors of his brothers or other people, is what I basically said to sum the whole thing up. Does anyone have any more information on Alfarius? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Like, I really don't know. Just ignore the Alfarius book? How do you ignore the Alfarius book? That was like, it was a good book though. Information, yes. Reliable information, no. See, that's what I was like. Do we have any reliable information? Because the Alfarius book, I was like, I do not know what is true and what is not. Like, I'm confused. I have no idea. We know he is Alfarius, but that may be a lie. Yes. Yes. So, with that, that is all I had for my Primarch presentation today. That is all I had for the presentation. I hope you all liked it. I had a lot of fun going through everything and just like really like digging into it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Credits to the artist, Chroma J Flair, our resident artist that we love in our Discord server. We've got, I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Johan's his first name. He does the Sanguinius art that I love. And then Genius, who did like all of the art. Who did like all of like the art I had in here. It looks very wonderful, very nice. I love her art. It's fantastic. It's just too good. It's too pretty. It's got to be appreciated for how amazing it is. So, thank you for reading my essay. I hope you enjoyed reading it as much as I enjoyed writing it. Yes, pretty much. Feel free, if you have other thoughts on this, I'd love to hear it. Join the Discord server. I think one of my mods put it down for us. But please feel free to join. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, so all of this said, please start planning for Valentine's Day now. If you have someone that you want to, or you're going on a date with, I recommend start the planning now. Feel free to take any of my ideas. Let me know if any of them work out for you, or if you had a successful day, or even if it wasn't successful, that's okay. I just want to hear if you liked any of my ideas. I'd love to hear more. I love your design. I just recently started getting to Warhammer 40k. Welcome, brother. Welcome to the Auxilia. I hope you enjoyed. It's great. It's great. I love Warhammer so much. It's just fantastic. So, yeah. What else was I gonna say? Well, I want people's opinion. So I gave you some dating ideas. Would any of you be interested if I gave some advice from like a woman's perspective of asking a girl out? If you want to hear it, I will give it to you, but I don't want to be presumptuous. But I thought, that could be an interesting thing that people might like to hear if they just wanted to know more. So I know there's some of you that have like partners in the chat, so it's like, I don't care, but I'm down to give it. So if you want to ask someone out for Valentine's Day, we can work on that. We can do that too. So yes. So thank you all for joining me today. Please work on your miniatures if you have a gray pile of shame. I hope you were working on it during this stream, because it's not going to paint itself. It's not going to build itself. So please paint your miniatures. And I will see you... Oh, it's Sunday, huh? I will see you later this week. I have not put a schedule together yet, but we will cover more fun Warhammer content. And join the Discord if you haven't. We have lots of fun activities in there. And I will see you all next time. So, with that, have a very good evening, everyone. Bye!